And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I definitely appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, we have a little bit of reaction from the RNC debate, and I'm going to do a poll when we start live. I'm going to do a poll and ask you guys, who do you think won the debate, if you watched it at all? We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, have you guys seen the Panama protesting action where they blocked the Pan American Highway, and then the old man got fed up, had a falling down moment and said, you know what, enough's enough and it's time for a change? We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, there was yet another incident on the New York City subway system where someone was being victimized and then a person jumped into action to save them. But as we all know, no good deed goes unpunished. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, San Francisco has literally begun to clean up their act because of a certain somebody coming into town, and they say that it didn't take any more money to do it. Well, why can't they do that all the time? We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, the federales are on New York City Mayor Eric Adams' back because maybe there's a reason aside from some improper campaign financing. We'll talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. That helped me out tremendously. And a little note, tonight I'm trying something a tad bit different. I'm also trying to simulcast on Facebook because here's a little bit of inside baseball for you guys. I'm trying to get my Facebook page cracking. Shout out to a really good friend of mine. I don't want to say his name on the stream because I don't want to blow him up. But he put a bug in my ear like, hey, man, you need to get on Facebook and really get cracking. Got to get on Facebook, got to get cracking. So I'm trying to stream live on there to fulfill a requirement. We'll see how that whole thing goes. But shout out to you guys who are watching on the YouTubes, on Facebook, wherever you're watching. I appreciate you. If you're listening to this audio only on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether that be Google Play, Spotify, Apple, iTunes, etc., thank you for being there. Please give me a 5-star rating or review or whatever you want. And if you didn't know, this will be available on your favorite audio streaming platform. Just search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. There's also a link in the description box. This episode will be available at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. So today, Saturday, it'll be available 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on your audio streaming platform for 100% free as always. All right. Now, shout out to the sponsors, of course. Shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will be in the description. Shout out to ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. That link will be in the description. And of course, the main website, go to anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website. We have all articles for each video that I produce. And in the articles, you'll be able to find links from left, right, independent, local, national, worldwide, whatever you want. You can find full videos. You can find uncensored things. As long as it's legal, I'm going to post it right there on the website. Again, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the contact page, anthonyblogan.com/contact. You can find my email address, my snail mail address, my P.O. box, which is what I'm talking about when I say snail mail address. You can also find my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, not going to call it X. All those good things are right there on the contact page. Again, anthonyblogan.com/contact. And of course, as I always say in every stream, if you're ever wondering if you are conversing with me or not on the interwebs, the obvious clue is If somebody messages you and they say, hey, I have a golden opportunity. If you give me $1.5 million, I'll give you 1.5 and $100 back in Bitcoin. All you got to do is send the money to my Nigerian prince uncle back in Lagos. Listen, don't do that. It's not me. It's a scam. But if you have to double check, you know what? I might send this money to this 5,800 pound Lithuanian person. I might want to do that. You can double check by cross-referencing the email that you have, which would be, I'm a Nigerian scammer. Send me some money right now at hotmail.com. You can cross-reference that email with my email on my contact page. And spoiler alert, before you go to the page, my email address is contact@anthonyblogan.com. That's my email. Anything else, it's not me. Don't get scammed. Ain't nobody got no time for that. And this year, 2023, going into 2024, do you guys know? Oh, and also, before I say anything else, happy Veterans Day. Shout out to all the veterans. Shout out to you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed your day. Maybe you got a free or discounted meal. Maybe you're able to just hang out with your family, hang out with yourself, whatever you do. Happy Veterans Day to all the vets out there. We really, really appreciate you. We would not be here without you. So shout out to all the vets. All right. But don't get scammed. Shout out to all the vets. And hopefully everybody's enjoying their Saturday. We got a whole lot going on. I'm going to check on my Facebook guys over here to see if you are able to see the stream. And if you're with me on Facebook, y'all give me a holler. Y'all let me know what's going on. Let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me. Shout out to you. Somebody says they switched from YouTube. Shout out to you. And you guys let me know if the sound is good, if the visual quality is good. Oh, okay. I see somebody. What I'm seeing right now on Facebook, they got it captioning live on the screen. Very good. All right. So shout out to Facebook for that. All right. Now we got a lot to get into. There's a whole lot to get into. We got videos. We got a little bit of everything to get into. All right. We got some videos from your main man, Joe Biden, your guy. I know you guys absolutely love Joe Biden. We're going to get into that. Oh, and before we get into the videos I've not shown yet on my channel, I got to address one video I did show. Now, I uploaded a video about Kiki Palmer. You guys may or may know who that is. Kiki Palmer's an actress. And then she got into some drama with her child's father. And there's all kind of stuff going on. It's a really big story. I covered it. At one point, that was the #1 trending search on Google. Anyway, I uploaded a video. And I have two formats I use when I upload videos. Because you guys may or may not know, I upload to 3 places directly, 1 place indirectly. A little bit more inside baseball. So what I do when I upload, I saw somebody talking about Rumble. Why not stream on Rumble? Well, when I upload my videos, including the live videos, everything also goes to BitChute. So anything that I upload on YouTube goes to BitChute automatically. That's just what it does, including the lives. So I have one format for that. I have another format for both Facebook and Instagram. It's a square format. So if you're on your phone, it's easier to watch. It's kind of hard to explain, especially on Instagram where everything is vertical. I put it in a square format with a vertical template. But anyway, I used that same vertical version by accident on YouTube. And what it did was make it to 360, like it's supposed to be virtual reality or something. So it was kind of unwatchable, but a lot of you guys still watch it. Thank you for doing that for sure. But yeah, I upload on a lot of different places. Rumble is okay, but nobody's really going to watch it. The same thing with BitChute. People are always asking me for alternatives to YouTube, and the BitChute link is right there in my description right now. Matter of fact, if I look, let me see. The BitChute is right there. It's been there for like 2 or 3 years, but it gets some viewership, but not as much. I think if I have an alternative media platform like BitChute, that should be enough rather than Rumble. You see what I'm saying? What I'm trying to do is really reach everybody, and I'm trying to conquer people that have bad messaging on all the platforms. So you may have your favorite left-wing socialist, communist commentator on the TikToks, on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, I want to be there to counteract their message. I don't want to put my message on a platform where anybody going to watch it. So there's no way for me to be able to counter what they're saying, if that makes any sense. So I want to be on the biggest platforms, and I got my own website, and then I have BitChute for a backup. I think that's kind of enough. Now, Rumble may be the future, but it's not right now. And right now, Rumble is in the same category as a BitChute. And I don't really see them overtaking YouTube or any other big tech platforms anytime soon, unfortunately. All right. Now, Taylor says, any word on the plaque? And for you guys that don't know, if you guys are on the other platforms, YouTube should send you a plaque at certain milestones. So I have one back here. I would get it, but I don't want to mess up my thing. YouTube should send you a plaque at, matter of fact, hold on. I'm going to just zoom. Let me see if I could just adjust my zoom. You see the plaque back there? All right. That's a plaque for 100,000. They give you a silver plaque for 100,000. And they are supposed to give you a gold plaque for 1 million subscribers. And if you get to 10 million, which is a really, really big number, that's, people underestimate how big that is. If you get to 10 million, you get a platinum plaque. Well, I've been asking them for that, but I've not really gotten much in return. I'm 20,000 subscribers over 1 million. So whenever they're ready, I'm ready. I've reached out without much luck. So, you know, I'll try again soon. I don't want to keep bugging them back to back. But as soon as they give me the plaque, you guys will get it as well, because I'm going to do a unboxing live right here on the YouTube. So thank y'all for asking about that. But we got quite a few things to get into. And where am I going to start? It's so much going on. It's crazy. It is so much going on. It's crazy. All right. We got to talk about San Francisco, Xi Jinping. We got to talk about quite a bit. We got to talk about everything that's going on. So y'all hang tight for me. All righty. We got some really, really interesting stuff going on. Damien says, is it related to my political views? Possibly. But I don't want to say that because I could be wrong. But it's possible. One thing they told me was that if I have a current violation on my account, on my channel, then that could affect my ability to get the to get the plaque. And I do have a violation, but it's supposed to be one of those things that's not really a violation, because remember when the apocalypse happened, what they started to do was give out certain warnings, or this might have been a little bit after. Rather than getting a strike right away, you would get a warning. I have a warning on my channel from back in 2021 because I covered Donald Trump speaking, and for that, they gave me a warning. This is not a strike. It's a warning, but that was enough for them to keep that there and say I have something on my account. You see how that works? Although I don't have a strike, I don't have any really bad community guidelines or anything. I have that. So that's enough for them to say, well, you got something on your account and, you know, you've been bad, so you can't get anything. So it's whatever. It's all good. Now, we're going to get into some videos here, and y'all hang tight for me. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That will help me out tremendously. Okay, let's start with some of these. These are pretty good. Now, I know some of you guys talk about the workplace and that whole environment, but how would you feel about this workplace here? Let me throw it on the screen for you guys right quick. Now, this, I think, is in Netherlands. They have converted a prison into a workplace. Now, what I'm going to do is show you what they did, and then I'm going to ask a question. I might even do a poll. All right, so let's check it out right quick. And RIP headphone users. And Facebook guys and girls, let me know if the volume and everything is good, please, in the comments. I'd appreciate it. So it says the office is in Haarlem, Netherlands, and it's a former prison. So you see the outside. This was a prison. And then it says it has meeting rooms in the cells. So you see it has the tiers. It still has the doors. Like, this is a prison. And this is one of those prisons where all the cells are facing the center. It'd be a guard block right there. I've not been to prison or jail ever, never been arrested, but I know a little bit about what's happening in the world. Now, like, you see the doors, like, you see what's going on. Like, it's a literal jail. Santo Bartes, see, you got that 5,000 IQ. Santo Bartes says, pro tip, it's still a prison, just a different type. See, that's that 5 million IQ right there. Look at this. Like, is that the door that they would put the meal through, your food through? And the caption, it says, didn't pay your Amazon, your AWS bill on time, go to cloud jail. And AWS, that's your cloud-based services. My website actually uses AWS. Quiet as cut, but that's a different story. Actually, I'm not on AWS anymore. I was on AWS, and then they realized that I was not paying enough money for something like that. But anyway. So how do you guys feel about that? Now, the question I want to ask you is this. If you could pick between, and I won't do a, matter of fact, let's do a poll. Let's do a poll. The poll will be pick, let me see, former prison, office, or open workplace. So what I'm asking is this. Would you prefer this style of a workplace or the open concept? Y'all let me know. Prison style, open concept. I'm a link it. Because I was reading some of the comments and they said, you know what? I prefer that over the open concept. I don't know. I'm not quite sure I want to be in the penitentiary, kind of like locked up working. I like the open concept personally. I like being able to be kind of out. When I was in college, we had an art school that I was studying at. We had the open concept. We had tables, long tables, and you could sit next to people. It was open concept, but not too many people. Now, if it's open concept and it's 1,000 people in there, that's a little bit different. I'm not trying to smell everybody's smell, and I'm not trying to get zonked by your coffee breath at 8 a.m. in the morning. I'm not really trying to have that going on. But if we got like 15 people, that's a little bit better. But 1,000 people, 500 people, open concept, at a certain point, it's the same thing as a penitentiary. And then at that point, you got to ask yourself, would you prefer a cell or a bunk type situation? If I was to get locked up, which I'm never going to get locked up, knock on wood, I prefer a cell by myself rather than being in a bunk bed with, 500 other guys. I'm not trying to smell all those smells all the time, but different story. I digress. You know what? That's a good point right there. Somebody says, I'd rather be at home. There you go. See, you guys are so smart. The smartest people in the world. All right. Oh, you know what, St. Andrew? I didn't think about that part. Think about all that happened there. Yeah, that's right. You're at your desk trying to solve some cloud issues for Amazon. Meanwhile, in the back of your mind, somebody might have got beat in the head with a rusty piece of piping or something in there. Somebody might have got assaulted in a very violating way. I'm not trying to have that thought process interfere with what I got going on when I'm trying to work. All right. So, yeah, again, this is a former prison in the Netherlands that has been converted into a workplace for Amazon AWS. So, yeah, shout out to them for making that happen. I'm going to go ahead and end the poll right here. All right. And then the poll is not necessarily surprising, but 1/3 of you guys say prison style is your preference, while the other 2/3 say open concept. All right. The boxes are blank. Is that what happened? That's weird. You know, that's YouTube glitching. But yeah, that's pretty much what that is. Let's keep on rocking here. Now, this video might be a tad bit disappointing if you are in favor of the EVs. Maybe I come off as an anti-EV guy. I played the video a time before where it was a big line of cars in Burbank, California, trying to get charged up at 11:30 or so at night. It was only one charging place. It might have had 8 stations at a shopping mall or something random like that. All of the stations were filled up, and there was a line of EVs wrapping around the parking lot at 11:30 at night trying to charge. And to charge at a place like that is going to take a little while. But anyway, I'm not a big EV fan. I think them trying to push electric vehicles is kind of ridiculous. And I like Elon Musk. I like what he's doing with Twitter. I thank him pretty much every day, in my mind at least. I ain't going to hit him up. But I thank him for buying Twitter because he unleashed it. The bird's uncaged. The caged bird is not in the cage anymore singing. The bird's free because he came through and spent $40 billion to make that happen. Now, when I have stories that might be censored on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, etc., I can go to Twitter and I'm good money. I like Elon Musk and I like what he's doing. However, these electric vehicles, I'm not necessarily sure they're the way of the future. Let's check this out. Now, I know that these places, okay, on the left, you have the Tesla truck. On the right, I think that's a G Wagon. I know that these are probably different tires and different environments, not exactly the same place. But, I mean, it doesn't look too good for the Tesla truck. Let's go ahead. I'm going to play the G Wagon, I think. I'm going to play that one first. You're going to see how it performs in this terrain. Then you're going to see the Tesla truck, which is electric. All right. So gas versus electric, G Wagon versus Tesla truck. Let's check it out. First of all, that sound alone, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful sound. That's part of the reason why I love my truck and my car. They're both V8, and when I'm cranking it up, when I'm pedal to the metal, not quite pedal to the metal because I follow all the laws. I don't go speeding on the highway. You know what I do? I'm the perfect button-up driver. When I drive, I wear a suit and tie. I don't play my music. My music is at room level. You can hear somebody read a book over my music level. I don't speed ever. I'm always a very cautious and studious driver, right? But when I hear the engine purr, it's a beautiful sound. Beautiful sound. So let's watch that one more time. I think it's a G Wagon. So there we have it. Now, I don't have to, but the Tundra's gone. Okay, so the truck I have now, I traded my Tundra. The lease was up. I was wanting something a little bit more. I wanted a higher trim level, basically. The trim level I had was pretty basic. Cloth seats. I wanted a little bit more. So what I did was I traded the Tundra for the Mustang. And then I had a Camry. I traded that for an F-150 trimmer. Oh, I love it. It's perfect. It has a leather seats, but also cloth. To me, that's perfect. I don't like all leather, but I don't like all cloth. And the cloth is a higher quality than my Tundra. It has a better interior. I like it a lot. But even the Tundra I had was a V8 because it was the last V8 they made. Now they're all twin turbos. Not really a fan of that. My F-150 is a V8 Coyote. It's the same as the Mustang. But anyway, that's the G Wagon. Now let's look at the Tesla truck. You can do it, man. Come on. You can do it.
It's not even off-roading tires. Oh, there we go.
Oh, my goodness. What is going on? Yeah, so what do you guys think about that? Again, that's a Tesla truck, all electric. Is it the tires? Is it because it's too heavy? Is it not really designed for off-roading? I mean, what do we have here? Now, understand this. The G Wagon is expensive. It's over $100,000, like 144, 150 maybe. But so is Tesla truck. The Tesla truck is like 100 grand, like 100 grand on a low level for the Tesla truck. And if that battery goes out, good luck. Good luck. Somebody says all the above. Yeah, tires too full. Yeah, tires too full. You got tires too full, it's too heavy, not designed for off-roading. The driver, I thought about that too. Bad driver. Yeah. That did not look good at all. Rock climbing needs weight. Tesla truck has no weight. Well, no, actually the truck is very heavy. The thing is like 7,000 pounds. So is it front wheel drive? I mean, look, if I'm paying $100,000 for any vehicle, it better do everything I need it to do. Okay, if I'm buying a truck, a big truck, a full-size truck for $100,000, it better have all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. It better have off-roading features. If it doesn't, then what am I doing? I might as well buy some kind of like sport car. I might as well buy a Corvette or something like that that is not going to go off-road. And I'm going to just go real fast in it. It's bulletproof, yeah. So if you want to drive in the city in this big F-350 size vehicle that's bulletproof and can't go off-road really, then hey, it is what it is. Is it rear-wheel drive only? Oh my goodness, that's crazy. A truck, a pickup truck with rear-wheel drive only? No all-wheel drive, no four-wheel drive? Yeah, no V8 scream or nothing. None of that. And you know what? Somebody says, just came in, thought we were watching Wall-E from Disney. Hilarious. You know what's crazy? A lot of the newer trucks that are electric, they have speakers. Hold on, I got to find that video. I have to find that video where they literally had speakers in the vehicle to create the V8 sound. I think it might have been the Lightning. It might have been a Lightning. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right, let me see. The F-150 Lightning. Yeah. Was it a Lightning? It might have been a Lightning or one of those. Oh, here it is. Here it is. All right, let's throw it on the screen right quick. And then we get to some other stuff, some other political stuff, of course.
Want to know what a rumbling V8 exhaust sounds like on an electric vehicle? Wait, an exhaust on an electric vehicle? How has Borla made the Ford Lightning sound amazing? I'm going to show you. This is a brand new Ford Lightning electric vehicle. Now, how did they get the V8 sound? Well, you'll see off the mirror right there, there's a speaker there, and there is a speaker right there to hear it run. They match the tone of 4 different vehicles: a Ford Mustang GT500, a Dodge Charger, a Chevy Silverado, and a Chevy Corvette C8. And you can choose from the 4 sounds that you want coming out of your electric vehicle.
That's crazy. Imagine going into your truck, your pickup truck, your F-150, and going onto the dash and then picking, okay, how will my car sound today? Are we going to get the Mustang? Are we going to get the Dodge Charger? That's crazy. And then what happens when inevitably one or both speakers blow or they malfunction? You're going to get a Milli Vanilli moment. You're going to get record skipping. You're going to get static. You're going to get all that. So imagine you had a red light, revving your engine, and then it starts skipping. I mean, what in the world are you going to do? Go home, never come back again after that kind of thing happens to you. But I digress. The fake sounds, I'm not a fan. I am not a fan of the fake sounds. If it doesn't have the sound, it doesn't have the sound. The speakers and all that kind of extra stuff, please save it. Let's not do that kind of thing. And we're going to keep on rocking and rolling here. We got quite a few more videos to get into. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That will help me out tremendously. All right, let's see if we can. Oh, here's one. Here is one that I want to show you guys, and there are some more. All right, hold on. Okay, here we go. Now, this is your man Joe Biden. Let me turn our speakers down. Let me turn my speakers down. Now, this is him. Do you see what's happening? Okay. I guess whatever happened here, this might have been today or yesterday, I believe, Veterans Day event. He is not supposed to be right here. He's supposed to be over there, and he doesn't really understand what's going on. He has to get directed where to go. Let's watch. Is my man holding a laugh? Is he laughing or am I tripping? Hold on. Can I zoom in on this right quick? Let me see if I can. I wish I could zoom in. That's what I really want to do, but I cannot. Is he laughing? Like, what's happening here? Is he trying to hold in a laugh? That's embarrassing. This is your president again. 81 million votes. Doesn't know what's going on, where he is. He has to get directed. This reminds me of when the Easter Bunny came to save him. Remember that? The Easter Bunny came to save this guy. It's like, hey, we can see you. We know that's not the actual Easter Bunny. We know it's not part of the thing. We know it's somebody from Secret Service coming to literally corral this guy. This also reminds me of when Dianne Feinstein was voting, and then they were like, just say yay. Like, don't give any speech, Miss Feinstein. Just say yay and keep on rocking and rolling. But that's your president, 81 million votes. And then they're wondering why they want different options. They're wondering why Joe Manchin is kind of becoming a little bit popular with no labels. They're wondering why Gavin Newsom is meeting with Xi Jinping and all this, that, and the third, because obviously they know Joe Biden isn't going to be the guy. They know that for 100% certain. All right, let me go ahead and fix this right quick. But yeah, it's a whole big crazy mess. And shout out to you guys for rocking and rolling with me. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That will help me out tremendously. Let's go back. Have I shown this one? I'm not quite sure. I have. Oh, economic news about the cost of living. I've shown some videos about different places in the country where it's very high for rent. One place I don't know where it was. It was an apartment complex, and the rent was going for like $2,500 to $2,800 for a 900 square foot, one bed, one bath type situation. Now, this is going to be in Boston. Now, I know people in Boston, people from Boston, and they tell me it's expensive. You living out in Boston, in the city, especially inside the city, you're going to pay an arm and a leg. If you're not working in banking or something like that, you can forget about it. If you don't perform heart surgery for a living, or if you are not a hedge fund manager, try living in Boston, you better forget. You better be a big time dope dealer or something successful under the radar, or you could be 10 for the big guy type individual. You can live in Boston. But anybody else, forget about it. San Fran, same thing. San Fran also very expensive. We'll get to San Fran in a minute, talking about that city specifically. But let's check this out and see what she says. I've not seen this, but I already know that it's going to be very expensive where she is. I see a number right there, $4,100 for a studio. Let's check it.
Stop saying that apartments are $1,200. No, they are not. They are not $1,200. Stop saying that. That is not the median price of the nation's apartments. In Massachusetts, I am not kidding you.
Whoa. Wait a minute. Okay, let's pause. The starting price, $4,165 up to $22,510 for a studio is $4,000. 4 bands. Imagine paying 4 bands for a studio. $22,000 for a 3-bedroom apartment? No way. That can't. Let's let her continue.
Studio to 3 beds, $4,000 to $22,500. Okay, and that's not the only one. I have other examples. I cannot find a studio apartment, not only in Boston, but the surrounding Massachusetts areas, less than $3,600.
How about Dorchester, Worcester? I got to get my Boston accent right. I got my Shack. I got some other accents in the Nigerian accent. I got to get my Boston accent right.
$1,000, $15,000 for a 3-bedroom. But Brittany, they're luxury apartments. No, they're not. No, they are not. I know where they are. I know the surrounding areas. They are a wall-to-wall, 2-bedroom apartment that is a square box with a fucking kitchen. Stop it. There is no explanation why.
And you know what? The thing about it is some of these places are marketed as luxury apartments, but they're not. I said it before. During the whole pipe mechanic in Atlanta, the pipes burst when they got very cold, and it happened in these so-called luxury apartments, the high rises, Midtown, Buckhead, downtown, all kind of stuff. These are newer places, newly constructed, but they are built very cheap. It's like we're getting into the tofu construction here in America. The same thing they do in China, or the same thing China exports to other countries. A prime example, there was a hospital. I forget where it was in Africa. It might have been in Angola. It could have been in Nigeria. Doesn't really matter. The point is that the Chinese built a hospital for this area in Africa, and within 1 year, there was a big crack that developed right down the middle. The crack was so bad that they had to treat patients outside in the parking lot under tents after 1 year. And the cost for some of these things, what China will do is barter with you. Okay, we'll build you a whole railroad for the country, but we want 4 plots of oil in perpetuity, forever. 4 plots of oil. Now, of course, 4 plots of oil is worth more than a railroad, especially when it's constructed cheaply with cheap materials. But that's how China operates. You can't afford it. We're going to leverage you to death. That's how they do. But I digress.
In Boston, there should be any 2-bedroom that is $14,000. I don't care if it's the Taj Mahal. North Shore, South Shore, the surrounding areas. You cannot find a 2-bedroom house less than $30,000. $800, $4,000. I know because I'm freaking living in one. I'm a millennial, and the thought of buying a home, I'm an elder millennial. I should be buying a home right now, but I will not buy a home that is 1.7 million, and 10 years ago the actual worth was 200,000. I'm not buying a $200,000 home for over $1 million. It's just not going. It's not feasible. So what they do is they rack this price up of the rent, so you're stuck. What?
Now, sorry for the chipmunk sounds. I think whoever was recording this probably just had it on like 2x or whatever when they recorded it at a certain point because they were getting tired of her. But what she's saying is 100% correct. Now, I'm reading some of the comments here. Someone says, I live on the outskirts of Boston. My rent is $2,200 for a 756 square foot building, and the building is 70 years old. Definitely not luxury. So for not even 800 square feet, you're paying $2,200 in the older building, not luxury. Yeah.
What are we doing about this, people? So you know what? If you're a boomer or whatever, and you're saying that we're not doing enough, you bought your house in 1980 for $60,000, if not less.
I mean, she got a point. Houses back in the day, they were not costing what they're costing now. I mean, even where I live, my house was less than 400, and now you're getting closer to 600,000 as far as the value. The same house, and I bought it in 2020. It's the same house, and not only has the value of my house gone up, but so has the interest rate. So the interest rate, let me see if I can put up a meme for you guys right quick to really explain the interest rate for you guys that may not really, you guys are pretty smart, you understand, but everybody may not be privy to the information that you have. But the interest rate is a really big deal because for the same house, you're going to pay a whole lot more money. All right. You're going to pay a tremendous amount of money. All right. Let me just put it on the screen right quick. Here we go. I got it. Perfect timing. Alrighty. Let's do this. All right. Let me come back to where I was. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to show the rest of the meme in a minute. But first, you see the top half, 2021 rate, 2.96, 30-year fixed mortgage rate. If your loan was just $1 under $400,000, within a 30-year period, if you just paid it, every payment without paying more toward the principal, whatever, you would have paid a total of $204,181 in interest. That's 50% of the home price in 30 years. So the total cost of your loan was about $604,000, all right? Now, that has changed because of the new interest rate. Let's look at it. The same price of the house, but rather than the 2.96% interest rate, now 7.7% interest rate. You're going to pay $627,000 in interest. This is more than the total cost, including principal and interest, of the prior rate. Listen, the interest on the loan with the higher rate is more than the combined principal and interest for the same price with a lower rate. You're going to pay $1 million for the entire house. $1 million. So that's a problem. That's a problem. So let's say you want to benefit from the increased cost of your home. Like, let's say I want to sell my house, right? I want to sell my house and cash out and go somewhere else. Well, now I got to deal with that. So for a guy like me, my option would be to go live in an apartment that's like a shoebox for my mortgage price, or just stay where I am. I can't really realize the gains because it wouldn't make any sense. I'm making a lateral move at best. And really I'd be going backward. I have a very low interest rate. If I buy another house, I might have made $200,000 from selling my house, but now I'm paying this. It's a crazy thing to think about. All right. Butthead says, time to live in the van down by the river. Right on. Exactly. Live in the van down by the river. And I saw somebody earlier talking about van life. Now, how about Toyota Camry life? How about Ford Fiesta life? How about Ford Focus life? Okay, how about cardboard box on the side of the road life? How about that? Now, speaking of cardboard boxes, side of the road, San Francisco, they are starting to clean up because you got your main man coming into town. Joe Biden is coming. Xi Jinping is coming. You have the conference, the APEC conference. That's the Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation, I believe, conference. That's happening coming up in a few days, and they're going to clean up as a result. Now, we're going to get to a news clip of that right quick, but first, here's a video that I've seen quite a bit, but I've not actually watched it. Now, the caption here says, San Francisco's homeless population was entirely cleared out for Xi Jinping. The government can easily fix our cities overnight. It doesn't want to. Now, that's probably not 100% accurate to say that everybody was cleared out. I think what's happening is they were herded into certain places. As I said in my video, if you guys ever seen The Wire, you ever seen Hamsterdam? Matter of fact, hold on. Before I play this, I got to show Hamsterdam for you guys because I always make that reference, but I'm not quite sure that I've ever really shown it to you guys. All right. Now, and a little bit of background about Hamsterdam. What happened was the police on a TV show, The Wire, were trying to control the drug problem. So the chief of police had a bright idea to legalize drugs in a certain zone in the city. And then they were talking to the dope boys about this before they did it. Like they had a meeting with the dope boys, the police, and then they were talking about this. And they proposed the idea. And then one of the dope boys said Hamsterdam rather than Amsterdam. You understand? Because of how Amsterdam is. He said Hamsterdam. So then it became known as that. And this kind of thing exists all over the country. Philadelphia, Kensington, San Francisco, the Tenderloin. These places exist where they allow whatever to go on. You could just smoke crack, fentanyl, whatever you want, and it won't be a problem. All right. Let me see if I can.
That's a good part.
Now, watch this. Now, HBO, my man, whoever's going to watch this, David Simon, please, fair use, all right?
That's what I call a carrot. Now, you move your people into any designated area I told you about, and you'll have immunity from arrest.
What I say, they had a meeting, a literal, there's a police chief right here, Bunny Coven, in The Wire, and these are all the dope boys. And they say, yo, you could do whatever you want in this area. Let me just start it from the top.
That's what I call a carrot. Now, you move your people into any designated area I told you about, and you'll have immunity from arrest and prosecution. You're free to make your drops, collect what need collecting, won't nobody bother you.
Crazy. But again, this was back in what, the early 2000s when The Wire came out from 02 to 06. This actually exists all over the country. It might be right in a neighborhood near you.
Got my word on it.
What do you get out of this?
That's a fair question. I want to salvage what's still worth salvaging in my district. And I can't do that with a bunch of young hoppers running around scaring the hell out of decent people.
Fair use, HBO. Don't give me a copyright, please. I beg. Oh.
Now, these kids ain't gonna listen to me, but they will listen to y'all. Now, you tell them to move down here and set up a shop, and they will.
Look at these outfits. My goodness. I dressed like this back then. Okay, with the do-rag and the cape flowing. I did that back in like 2001.
So the way I got it figured, I motivate you, and you motivate them.
No, that's the trap.
No, you check out the spot. There ain't no cameras, ain't no microphones, nothing.
So that's Hamsterdam. Let's see if I can fast forward a little bit here.
Anybody available for complaint of speeding?
Over here, yo. Over here, we got that Rockefeller, yo.
And then here's something else though. This is very good. David Simon, you're a genius. What they wound up doing was rounding up all the dope fiends from other parts of the city and bringing them to Amsterdam so they could smoke crack there. I lie to you not. And what's happening in San Francisco is the same exact thing. So before the whole ASIN conference or the APEC conference, what they're going to do is clean the streets up, make it look real nice next to the convention center, next to restaurants, next to hotels. they're going to dump them right in the Tenderloin, which is the exact same thing as Hamsterdam in real life. I am not making this up. Watch this. Let me see if I can find them doing it.
You clean?
Yeah, of course I'm clean. Stupid ass rookie didn't even give me a chance to call.
This corner is indicted. You move over to Vincent Street or we come back with the bracelets.
So they're telling them you can't be right here, out here, selling your drugs. Go over there and you good.
Available for complaint of CDs being sold 1,300 engines and Calvin.
HBO, fair use.
Under the line. All out. Yo, we got that Rockefeller out here. We got that Rockefeller over here, yo.
So they're confused because the police are dropping them off and the dope boys are right there marketing their drugs right in front of the cops. He's like, what's going on here? That's what's happening. Now let's get to San Fran. You're going to see art imitate life, life imitate art, whatever it is. You're going to see that in real time. Let's check it out.
Here we are, downtown San Francisco, and as you can see, they got it blocked off.
My man, when you record next time, please don't do the Zoom. I'm about to have vertigo right now.
I'm not a big fan of these barricades. It's sad our country's not safe enough. Sad they got to put up barricades.
Walls work, huh? It's funny how it's racist to build a wall on a border, but whenever liberals in these super woke left cities got to protect things, they immediately build walls. That's their go-to thing. I think you're going to find more walled off areas in liberal places than conservative places. But if I want a wall, then I'm a racist. It makes no sense.
Can only imagine how the economy are.
All right, so that's what's going on out there. You see the big walls. You see a lady right there. You can see how tall the wall is, right? Let me zoom right quick. You can see how tall the wall is because you can see her height. She might be a regular sized woman, 5'4", 5'5", something like that. So how tall do you think this wall is? Maybe about 8 foot, maybe 9 foot, at least about 8 foot. Maybe I'm a little bit off. Probably about up to about 9 foot. All right. But again, that's racist if I do it. If you do it or I do it, that's racist. They could have 9-foot walls, steel, and they could have concrete barriers, security zones, roof snipers, all that good stuff, and it's totally fine. I guess when you're gonna bring Xi Jinping, when you're gonna bring Joe Biden, all of a sudden it matters. But when it comes to you and I, that's no big deal. Let them on in. You want some little buoys in the water? You're gonna get sued over that. 9-foot walls, no problem. You guys saying 8 foot, 8 to 10 foot? Yeah. That's what's happening right there. All right, let me get this fixed and keep on rocking and rolling and watch the news clip about what's happening. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Let's keep on rocking here. Let's get to, matter of fact, we got a before and after. And then we're going to get to the news clip. So here is the before. Now, I count 1, 2, 3 tents right there on the street. It's not as dirty as it could be, but tents on the road, on the sidewalk, that's not a thing that should be there, right? And what's going on above here? What's all this stuff on top of the thing? All right. So that's the before image. And then all of a sudden it's painted. There's no tents. There's no nonsense. There's, it looks like they're actually taking care of the city. It looks like they're using the money. And by the way, they say there's a citywide beautification project happening and it's not being done with any new money. The money's already there. The money's already there and earmarked for this purpose, but yet they're just now doing it right before the conference where you're going to have Xi Jinping and Joe Biden come in. Again, look, you got all kind of stuff. I don't even know what that is. What's some kind of protester came in and did that? You got all kind of garbage up here. for sale signs, tents, everything else. And then all of a sudden, it's become beautified. How'd that happen? Yeah, we got pigeons. They came back. The pigeons from the Animaniacs. Okay. Am I a joke to you? Anyway, let's keep on going. And let's watch this clip here.
Yes, that's right. The summit is expected to bring in $53 million, filling hotel rooms, bringing big business. And the city did tidy up for Dreamforce, but this cleanup is much more extensive. While San Francisco is in the spotlight for the Asia Pacific Economic Conference, city leaders are making sure the city shines.
Tourism is our business here in San Francisco, and we need to focus on making sure that the tourist dollars still come back.
Now, I did not think that San Fran was a tourist-friendly place. I did not think that was their business. I thought that San Fran is very rich, at least right now, because of big tech coming in and its location. But tourism, I'm not sure that I want to go to San Fran. Like, if I could pick a place in the United States to go, San Fran would not be top of my list, okay? I'm not trying to go take a wrong turn and then traipse in some doo-doo on the street. I just don't want to have that happen, okay? Now, people say that Atlanta, places like this, may not be the best, but I can tell you one thing. I've never seen a scene like I've seen in San Francisco in Atlanta. Miami, look, Florida, love it. Miami, Tampa, Orlando, even Jacksonville, Tallahassee. But San Francisco, I'm good.
Caltrans repaving major roadways like the Harrison Street off-ramp from the I-80. BART doubling down by deep cleaning their stations overnight more often.
The city had gotten a little bit dingy.
A little bit dingy? Sir, isn't that a tad bit of an understatement? Just a teeny bit of an understatement?
Over time,
scrubbing and power washing is happening all over the city.
Yeah, the bottom of my shoes look clean.
It's noticeable how clear the streets look and how few homeless encampments there are on major thoroughfares.
Having been a longtime resident in the Bay Area, you just naturally start to wonder of houseless folks being displaced.
Public Works is
houseless. That's one of those words. It's one of those kind of commie, kind of woke buzzwords, houseless. Why not just say what they are? They're homeless, and it's okay. Because sometimes if a person is homeless, it might just be going through a tough time. They might have had a layoff, might have had a medical situation. But really, truthfully, that's kind of still not really getting to the core of the problem in San Francisco and the left coast in general. The issue with people on the street that you see, that make a mess, that do all kind of random stuff, they're on drugs. That's the problem. The homeless people that just have a hard time and are trying to get themselves back on their feet, you don't really see them too much. They might live in their car. They might live over there. They might go to the gym in the morning, take a shower. You're not really going to see them. The ones you see that want to act a fool and throw stuff on you, and these people they're on drugs. And a lot of times they have mental problems that is made worse by the drugs.
Is installing decorative crosswalks in North Beach and Chinatown, and the Webster Street pedestrian bridge in Japantown was recently repainted. The Yerba Buena Gardens at the Moscone Center are decked out with new colorful landscaping and murals, paid for by the Clean California grant, just in time for the 20,000 high-profile CEOs and heads of state coming into town next week. Some people say this should be how it's always done.
What about the people who are here year-round, and local, hardworking, working class?
My man right here, the woke bro, the commie language bro, the funny hairstyle bro, he's right on point. He is 1,000% on point. What about those who live all the time? What about the rest of the year? Okay, you want to try to get a little bit tidied up for this big conference. It's going to bring all these heads of state from all over the world, Xi Jinping, Joe Biden, okay, but how about the rest of the year? And you guys have the money, why not just use it all the time?
Bay Area folks.
Others welcome the cleanup.
Anything that brings in a positive look on the city of San Francisco is great.
We will continue to do everything we can to maintain cleanliness in our streets.
There's your friend London Breed, the so-called mayor of San Francisco. I think she was in Hawaii recently, right, for a while. Not quite sure how long she was there. She might have been there for an extended vacation. I mean, why not go to Hawaii rather than living right there in San Fran? Why not? You the mayor, it don't really matter. I'd rather live in Hawaii than San Fran, for sure.
And city officials are saying that there are no additional funds that are being allocated for beautification. Departments are just using existing budgets. They also say that those budgets are being moved so that they can focus on the areas where APEC is taking place. The summit is expected to start on Wednesday.
Wait a minute, did you hear that? Did you because let's not gloss over that. Let's back up a little bit.
Additional funds that are being allocated for beautification. Departments are just using existing budgets. They also say that those budgets are being moved so that they can focus on the areas where APEC is taking place.
Okay, so what she just said is there's not any new money being done for the beautification project in San Fran. It's already there. And they're moving the money to areas where the conference is happening. So they're literally admitting, yeah, we're cleaning up the areas where the conference is going to be. We're trying to clean those areas up. But if you're not in that zone where the conference is going to be, where the hotels, restaurants that are going to service the conference are going to be, then it's whatever. Okay. It's going to be beautiful right there. But on your block, if you happen to live not in that particular zone, you're going to get the Hamsterdam vibe. You're going to get the crackheads and all kind of random filth and everything else on your particular block. That's what is happening, and they're admitting to it. So it's not even us just making the assumption. This is what they admit to you publicly. It's crazy. If I was in San Francisco, I'd be like, is that what you're doing with my money, with my taxpayer money? And California living, good grief. You guys are getting taxed from the front, back, side to side. I'm not quite sure how you're making it. I have no idea, but I digress.
The summit is expected to start on Wednesday, and of course, people will start coming into town over the weekend and early next week. I'm live in San Francisco. Back to you, Julie.
So there we have it. That's what's happening right now in San Fran because of the APEC conference coming up with all these heads of state coming in, a lot of CEOs, dignitaries, a lot of 10 for the big guy type individuals going to be in the building. So that the particular parts of the city that are going to house the conference will be cleaned up. But if you are kind of like, let's say you want to be a visitor for APEC, right? And you decide to go somewhere else that's not really within a certain zone. Hey man, you're on your own. You might see something you really shouldn't see that you cannot unsee. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, now what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to talk about the actual debate that happened recently. I believe I was doing a live stream when it happened. Now, I'm going to do a poll. And on the poll, I think I have a limit. I can only do 4 people. Well, I can only have 4 options. You understand? So I know there are more people than 4 on stage, but I can only do 4. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask you guys who you think won. And I think I'm going to put 4 names that make the most sense. If you guys have someone else, you can say that in the comments. But I'm going to put 4 names that make sense, okay? And the question is going to be, who do you think won the debate? Who do you think won the 3rd Republican? I'll just say debate because we already know what we're talking about. Okay. So the first option, we're going to do Ron DeSantis. No order here, just naming names. Nikki Haley, Vivek, Rama Swami, and then who else can I do? We can do, who was the participants? We had Vivek, Nikki Haley, Tim Scott, Ron DeSantis, Chris Christie. I think that's it. Let me see. 3rd debate participants. Yeah, it was only 5. So I'm going to just leave off Tim Scott. Yeah, I'm being racist. Shout out to Tim Scott. But no, I'm going to leave him off. So Chris Christie. All right. Now, of course, Trump was not there. Trump has not gone to any other debate so far. But let's do the poll right now. And I'm going to ask you guys, who do you think won? If you're on Facebook, you guys let me know who you think won in the comments. DeSantis, Haley, Vivek Ramaswamy, Chris Christie, or Tim Scott. Now, somebody says the bankers, hey, smart people. Now, what I've been seeing a lot, I've been seeing all type of mixed reviews. I've been seeing, and pardon me for this blocking the screen. I can't close that right here on the actual screen. That's just the way it is. I'm sorry about that. I'll be able to close it once the poll is over. I can close it over here on this section, but not right there on the actual screen that you see right in front of you that I'm streaming on. But I've seen all kind of things. Some said that Nikki Haley did well and Vivek did poorly. Some said that Ron DeSantis did very well. My main man on Twitter attacked me. Shout out to you, boss. He posted my thing and was like, I can't believe you thought that he won. Did we see the same debate? It was like, my man. And to be clear, Vivek, yes, I am on Facebook being a streaming simulcast. To be clear, I think Vivek won the debate. And I'm not even really a big Vivek fan. I've said it here live on the stream. I've said it in videos that I'm not really a big fan of his. I don't really trust him. He comes off kind of used car salesman-y. But I'm not going to sit here and lie like he didn't do a good job. He did a fantastic job. A debate is about performing very well, getting your point across, asserting yourself as a force. Now, again, Trump is the front runner by far, and it's not really close. But in the debate, I'm going to judge the debate based upon who's there, based upon what they say, based upon their performance. Before this whole cycle began, I thought DeSantis might come out on top even beyond Trump. I thought he would be a very good pick. But DeSantis has kind of wilted he's pretty much wilted away like a dead flower. Not trying to wish death on him for all the tattletales out there, but you understand what I'm saying. He has not done that. He's not done well at all. He's run a poor campaign. Vivek has done better and better every time. Nikki Haley, Warhawk. Tim Scott, a big Warhawk. Did you hear Tim Scott said we should bomb Iran directly? He was like, yo, all this extra stuff talking about you want to just go and bomb a warehouse in Syria. No, let's bomb Iran directly. It's like, whoa there, Captain. Whoa there, Tiger. That might be a little bit much, don't you think? I'm not trying to spark World War III because you want to bomb Iran. Dick Cheney. What's the other guy? What's your man with the you know what I'm talking about. And I'm sorry I did that. You know what I'm talking about though. This guy. McCain. Dick Cheney, John McCain, all these bloodthirsty warhawks. You want to go back to that? I think not. I'm not interested in bombing the whole world. I'm just not really into it. I'm all about peace. Whenever we can have peace, I'm all for that. But anyway, I don't think anybody said that Tim Scott did very well. And Chris Christie, I don't really see Chris Christie. And the thing about Chris Christie is that, okay, look, I'm not shallow. I'm not trying to judge people. But you can't look like that and try to be a serious candidate. I'm sorry. It just ain't really going to work, man, because it's like, yo, how you going to take care of our nation and our problems? You can't even take care of yourself. It's just like Joe Biden falling, bumbling, stumbling all the time. Obviously, if that's going on, you can't make sound decisions. Now, if you can't stop eating 5,000 calories every meal, Chris Christie, maybe you're not suited to be the next president. I'm just saying, am I being shallow? Am I being mean when I say that? I'm not saying you got to be beautiful. I'm not trying to be that kind of person, but good night. I mean, come on, man. Come on. It's like, that ain't really going to do it. And I'm not really sure you're going to be good policy-wise. You might be a warhawk too. Nikki Haley, warhawk. Tim Scott, warhawk. Vivek came off more relatable. He attacked the establishment. He exuded a lot of the Trump energy. Ron DeSantis, to me, is a great manager of a state called Florida. Fantastic. He does good for politics locally. Now, some are going to say that, oh, well, things are more expensive in Florida now and insurance costs more. The reason why things cost more in Florida is because everybody wants to go there. Everybody wants to be in Florida from all over the country and all over the world. So, of course, you're going to have supply and demand that comes into place. That's just basic. If Florida wasn't doing very well, then things would not be as expensive. Now, y'all know I'm born in West Virginia, so I know what it is out there, and I'm not trying to rag on my home state, my beautiful state, West by God, but it's not a high demand to go there. So, of course, if you go there, you can live for a low cost of living. It's not going to cost a lot to buy a house in a place that does not have a very high demand to move there. You can buy a house for the low. If you want to find cheap rent, go to Dub V. Okay, go to Charleston. You can find you a nice apartment for the low. But if you want to go to Miami, Florida, you want to go to South Beach, somewhere like that, you're going to pay an arm and a leg. It is what it is because everybody wants to go there. It's simple. And it's the same thing with any kind of place that kind of overnight becomes more attractive. You're going to have a higher cost of living. Where I live right now, very affordable. You can go downtown, get an apartment for like $1,000. If you don't mind a couple roaches here and there, if you don't mind some roach roommates that might pop out every now and again, if you don't mind roaches that drink Bud Light every Friday night on your couch with you, $1,000, you can get an apartment downtown Chattanooga. It's all good. You want that to be gone? $1,500, you'd be good to go. Live a little bit further out, about half hour from downtown, you good money. That's kind of how it works. Florida, not quite that way. Not quite that way because of high demand, but I digress. So I have the poll up here. I'm going to play some clips from Vivek and some other ones from the actual debate. If you guys didn't catch my recap video, then we're going to keep on rocking and rolling. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That will help me out tremendously. Okay, so I have the poll can pretty much end. The poll can end right now, okay? Matter of fact, I'll give you guys about 2 more minutes to vote in the poll. The poll says, who do you think won the debate? In no particular order, we have Ron DeSantis, Nikki Haley, Ramaswamy, and Chris Christie. Now, the poll, had a limit of 4 options. All I could put was 4 options, so I left off Tim Scott. If you think Tim Scott won, you can let me know in the comments. But out of the 4 who are on here, who do you think won? And the polling, since I put the poll up, has been very consistent. We have 322 votes. And it's been the same. It's been pretty much the same throughout the whole time. All right. Frankie Dog says, Canova, West Virginia, apartment 800 and clean. Absolutely. Absolutely. You're going to find very low cost of living in a place with a lower demand of people. That's it. Now, let me end the poll right here. All right. So the results of the poll, 81% say Vivek won the debate. 12% say Ron DeSantis, 3% said Nikki Haley, 2% said Chris Christie. Okay, so I think the people have spoken. Vivek won the debate, and it wasn't even close. Vivek started guns blazing. I'm talking about guns blazing. He did amazing. Now, let me see if I can find what I'm going to do. I'm not going to play all the clips. I'm going to just play what Vivek said to open, which was very good. It was a very good opener. Matter of fact, hold on. I'm going to play probably 2 clips. The Vivek opener of the debate, and then I might play another one. And then I have another video I've not shown you guys yet. I'm going to do a video on this specifically tomorrow. This is going to be about Rona McDaniel. Rona McDaniel is the RNC chairwoman. And to give you a little bit of context, Rona McDaniel is Mitt Romney's niece. Yes, that Mitt Romney, the Utah guy from New Hampshire or Mexico, wherever he's from, that's his niece. She's been the RNC chair since 2017. So that is who Vivek will refer to. I'm going to show you guys that one, and then I'm going to show you her response. Let me get these queued up right quick. Then we get rocking. All righty. So let's close that one and that one. There we go. Here we are.
Swami, let me turn to you. Please make your case. Why should you be the nominee and not the former president?
I think there's something deeper going on in the Republican Party here, and I am upset about what happened last night. We've become a party of losers at the end of the day. There's a cancer in the Republican establishment. Let's speak the truth. I mean, since Rona McDaniel took over as chairwoman of the RNC in 2017, we have lost 2018, 2020, 2022, no red wave that never came. We got trounced last night in 2023. And I think that we have to have accountability in our party. For that matter, Ron, if you want to come on stage tonight, you want to look the GOP voters in the eye and tell them you resign, I will yield my time to you. And frankly, look, the people there cheering for losing in the Republican Party. Think about who's moderating this debate. This should be Tucker Carlson, Joe Rogan, and Elon Musk. We'd have 10 times the viewership, asking questions that GOP primary voters actually care about and bringing more people into our party. Do you think the Democrats, and we've got Kristen Welker here, do you think the Democrats would actually hire Greg Gutfeld to host a Democratic debate? They wouldn't do it. And so the fact of the matter is, I mean, Kristen, I'm going to use this time because this is actually about you in the media and the corrupt media establishment. Ask you, the Trump-Russia collusion hoax that you pushed on this network for years, was that real or was that Hillary Clinton made up disinformation? Answer the question. Go.
Mr. Roberts.
Sorry. This is how we get our...
Man, look, that was an amazing opener. I'm not even a Vivek fan. Listen to me clearly. Hear me clearly. I am not a Vivek fan, but how can anyone sit here and say that that wasn't an amazing opener? Even Kristen Welker, lady right there on the screen, even she got this big crazy smile on her face. This is a Stone Cold Stomp Down liberal on NBC News. Stone Cold Stomp Down liberal, even she got a smile. She knows it was that good. That was amazing. I mean, that right there was, in my opinion, the highlight of the debate, and he did it at the very beginning. He started the debate like that. He set the tone for the debate. And throughout the entire thing, he had the best points to make, and he made them in the best way. That's how you win debates. Now, people could say that he's not going to be better than Trump. That's fine. I'm not even going to disagree with that. They can say whatever they want to say, but they can't say he didn't perform the best in the debate. That'd be a lie.
Country back. We need accountability because this media rigged the 2016 election. They rigged the 2020 election with the Hunter Biden laptop story.
Mr. Ramaswamy,
and they're going to rig this election.
Your time is up.
Accountability.
Let me turn to Governor Christie. Why you?
I mean, flamethrower. Flamethrowing. That was the opener. Now, I'm going to play one more, and then we're going to get to the response from Rona McDaniel because she responded, and I've not played that one yet.
Well, I want to laugh at why Nikki Haley didn't answer your question, which is about looking at families in the eye. In the last debate, she made fun of me for actually joining TikTok while her own daughter was actually using the app for a long time. So you might want to take care of your family first.
Leave my daughter out of your voice.
Your adult daughter. The next generation of Americans are using it. And that's actually the point. You have her supporters propping her up. That's fine. Here's the truth.
You're just
the easy answer is actually...
Hilarious. Shout out to Vivek for roasting Nikki Haley. And he was doing that throughout the entire debate. And what's funny is that they're both Indians. This is like Indian on Indian violence. Shout out to all of them. Shout out to the Indian subcontinent. Great people. Love them. All right. But my man right here, Vivek, I don't know what he's going to do in the future. President, I don't think so. But do something, man, because really you're doing good. I'm not your biggest fan, but I think that you can do something. Tweak some things and be a little bit more. You could do some things. You can go far in this movement if you're legitimate. That's the key. Now, the thing about her daughter is a fully grown woman. We ain't talking about no child. We're talking about a 25-year-old. I think her daughter might have kids and everything else. So this is a grown woman we're talking. Like, when people heard that, they're thinking about like a little kid. Nikki Haley is not a young woman. She's in her 50s. Her daughter is a fully grown woman. All right. So let's just have that be known for context purposes. Now, what he said was right, though. I'm not a TikTok fan either, but where are the young people? You got to understand, the left, they are on TikTok. They got them young boys that look like handsome from back in the day. I'm showing my age. Look, just like that. The little swoop bang, little 16-year-old white kid hairstyle. They're on TikTok getting money, big bags of money. Okay, talking about they love Joe Biden. Young boys, and they're using them. But the right, do we have that same kind of presence? No. Am I a fan of TikTok? No. But where are the people? You could say, I don't like TikTok and just miss out on the young generation. I see a lot of polls about who's voting for the left and the right by age. And overwhelmingly, regardless of race, young people vote Democrat. I'm talking about like below 35. I ain't talking about 18-year-old. I'm talking about below 35. They're voting Democrat. Once you get into the boomer generation, they vote red, Republican overwhelmingly. In order to bridge the gap, you got to meet young people where they are. You can't just rely on these old school tactics. Relying on old school tactics are going to get your constituents you already had for the past 40 years. You got to do some new things to get the young people. This is why, and I've said this before. I have said this before. They not only hate TikTok, they hate social media. Speaking about the RNC Republican Party, they had a debate on Fox, and they sent out a notice to people like myself, streamers, everybody else, YouTubers, and they said, you can't stream it. If you show it any more than 5 minutes, you're going to get a copyright strike. It's like, are y'all trying to lose? Listen, if I'm able to carry an event like this, I can get 10,000 at once. When I covered the election, you guys are there for that. We had, I think, 25,000 people concurrent. If I cover the midterm elections, if I cover a debate live, I can get between 5 to 10,000 concurrent at one time watching. That's going to be a lot of the younger eyes, a younger audience watching. But when you say we don't want you to stream it and give you a strike, you're not embracing the newer culture, and you're just abandoning the younger people. And you're wondering why you lose all the time. You wonder why you lost 2018, 2020, 2022, and it doesn't look too good for 2024, to be totally honest with you. It doesn't look that good because they're not embracing the young people. The older folks, you can't just rely on them because you don't live forever. You want to appeal to everybody, young and old and everything in between. You got to do it, because if you don't, you're going to keep losing over and over and over and over and over again. That's how it works. But I digress. Now, let's look at what Rona McDaniel said in response. I got to hear this.
All right, joining me now, Rona McDaniel, chairwoman of the Republican National Committee. Rona, thanks so much for being with us. Vivek and others are saying that under your leadership, Republicans have lost election after election, and positing the question, why should you retain your job given the track record of the party under your leadership? And to that, what do you say?
Well, first, I'm going to continue to focus on Joe Biden and Democrats. And I think there was a moment missed during that debate by Vivek to talk about the fact that we still have 13 American hostages in Israel. The fact that for the first time ever in the history of either party, we had a Jewish co-sponsor for a debate, and we are in very perilous times in our country. And I do think Republican voters, and I hear this echoed all the time, are tired of the circular firing squad within our party. And they're saying, can we please talk about Joe Biden and the Democrats and the border and fentanyl and crime and what's happening to our kids?
Okay, I get all that. I understand all that. Okay, that's fine. You see, she doesn't understand. You're not getting it, Rona. You're not getting it. You say things like that at a Republican dinner. I have been to the dinners. I've been to these places. I've been to the White House. I've been to political dinners. I've done it all. You're talking to a bunch of senior citizens with canes and walkers. You're not talking to the young people. And since you're not doing that, that's why you keep losing, having these razor-thin races. That's why. The left are talking to the young people, and they're doing it in a flagrant way. Drag queen story time, things of that nature. You have to counteract this. You can't just ignore what he said and dismiss it, because it's a problem. It is a problem, and you got to figure out how to fix it. Focusing on these issues without fixing the problem that we have, which is Republicans losing elections, it's It's just ridiculous. I don't understand. I don't get it. Is it a purposeful thing? Is she trying to lose on purpose? Are you trying to crash a party? Is that what's going on?
And inflation. But I'll definitely defend my record as chair. Listen,
yeah, I mean, Rona, I agree with you. Let me just say, I mean, all that you just said, I couldn't agree with more. But and you're right. I mean, obviously that should be a key focus. But I know you believe in accountability. You talk about it all the time. I mean, everyone. I mean, I'm accountable.
So
you're right.
Some accountability.
Okay, that's what I asked you, and you went into another.
Yeah, but I was going to go there. Sorry, I took too long on the answer.
Like, let's not give the dinner. Let's not give the RNC dinner opening speech, Rona. Okay, you're talking to regular people now. You're not talking to people you're trying to fundraise with. You got to do a little bit of code switching here. Talk to us now. So accountability, that is the question. That is the issue. Your take on that? What is it? Let's get into it.
Answer, but I was getting there. I'm not trying to avoid anything. Let me promise you that, Laura. Listen, when Vivek didn't vote in 2016, I was leading Michigan to the first win in history in 30 years. In 2018, we defied the odds. We got 3 senators, people like Josh Hawley, that allowed President Trump to build the largest conservative majority on the Supreme Court. In 2022, the RNC, which is a turnout machine, right? We're not the messengers. We don't create the messages for the campaigns. Those are the consultants who get very well paid.
Well, one of the things, Rona, that happened was, I think in Virginia, people were wondering where the money was, whether they were going to get some help from the RNC. And I know at one point you said that you were not asked for money in Virginia, but a Republican source familiar with the Youngkin team in Virginia told The Angle late tonight that is false. And meaning your story keeps changing.
Hold on. So let's read this right here. It says, Virginia GOP source on McDaniel's spending claims. So Rona McDaniel allegedly said that she was not asked to give money to the GOP in Virginia. But then the trusted source, according to Fox, says that's false and their story keeps changing. Anyone who thinks Virginia Republicans wouldn't want help when we knew we'd be outspent isn't being serious. Yeah, I think that anonymous person is probably accurate because y'all know I'm from Virginia. I'm a Virginia guy. I know Virginia very well. Virginia is a blue state, unfortunately. The governor, Republican, yes, I understand, but really it's a blue state, and it's because of Northern Virginia. You need all the help you can get in Virginia to win as a conservative Republican. You got to have all the help. So to say we're going to just deny the money from the GOP, it doesn't make any sense. Either the person or the group responsible for that decision is incompetent, or the GOP is lying. And I'm willing to bet the GOP is lying. I'm willing to bet that Mitt Romney's niece is lying to you. But let's see your reaction to be fair.
Anyone who thinks Virginia Republicans wouldn't want help when we knew we'd be outspent isn't being serious. You know, Rona, they were outspent by $8 million.
Glenn Youngkin did a phenomenal job, and he raised a lot of money. A lot of people don't understand fundraising. I can't raise state dollars. I don't get unlimited convention and state dollars. And these were state House and state Senate races.
But you guys said that you were told to stay away. So, okay, so you can't raise state money, but you were told to stay away. So if you were to not stay away, could you have raised state money? See what I'm saying? This is that stupid stuff I'm talking about.
The RNC is a federal committee. So, I mean, come on. Can you just, these are people who come after me all the time. They're on Twitter. They're all the time. And let's see their results. What did they do?
Look, I'm going to tell you what is, okay, I'm going to ask a question to you guys. Maybe you guys can fill me in. Maybe I'm just uninformed. I don't know anything, right? I don't know everything, so maybe I'm wrong about my assumption here. But if you are the RNC chair, that's the Republican National Committee, convention, whatever it is. If that's your job, what is your job? What are you supposed to do? What is your responsibility in that role? What are you supposed to do? I don't really get it.
In Virginia, how much money did they give? But let me stand by something else. In 2022, we took back the House, and the RNC is part of that. We're building the road, and we're launching Bank Your Vote. We've got to do that.
Rona, we got to roll, but thank you for joining us tonight. We have a lot more to get.
Not doing a good job. Look, any other job where you perform poorly like that, if you're tasked with winning, that's what I would think. To make a long story short, put it in a nutshell, I would think her job is to help the Republican Party win, regardless of how and all the details and all the intricacies and all that nonsense. I think her goal should be to help the Republican Party win. So if that's your job and you're given that job and you have that job since 2017, it's now 2023, you keep losing. The red wave that was supposed to come, it was a red trickle at best. If you keep having these failures, at a certain point, it's like, well, okay, you get fired. If you're a basketball coach, football coach in college, and you lose 5 games, you get fired. Oh, well, it's not 100% my fault. You got some of the guys that are not playing very well. You got assistant coaches. You got C-19. All these excuses, all I hear excuses. It don't really matter because you are the chair. You are the top dog. You are the head of the castle. So if you don't perform very well, regardless of who is responsible for what, it don't matter. I'm going to blame you because you're given responsibility and you didn't perform. Doesn't matter. And you might even be right. A head coach might be right when they say their players didn't really live up to the standard they thought they were going to live up to. Doesn't matter. You didn't do right. That's all that really matters to me. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Yeah, exactly, Betty Boot 2020 is called accountability all day long. And Gasser says the buck stops with her. Absolutely. 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 And it's really a mess. And you know what? A lot of the losing, they don't even really care. I've been to these places, to these parties, and they don't care. They give certain people money, and the money they give certain people money to go out here and do things. I'm gonna tell you this. I'm not gonna name any names, so I'm not trying to diss anybody specifically. Those who I'm speaking to know who they are, okay? But I'm not gonna name any names. There are certain groups that RNC pays. Hear me clearly. There are certain groups the RNC, Rona McDaniel's people, pay to go do outreach and to try to get people to turn out and all kind of stuff like that. And these groups do nothing. All they do is stay in Washington, D.C. and have parties, have dinners. They don't do a thing beyond that. They do nothing. The RNC, some of these events, fundraisers, they should have guys like me and some of my friends that are on YouTube. I won't name anybody's name, but a lot of my friends, they should have going to these events. I've never in my life gotten a call from the RNC, ever. Million subscribers, never got a call from RNC. They don't want to, okay, call up Fox, get ABL, call up Fox, get this guy, that guy. They'll bring on the top dog, Brandon Cannon, they'll bring them on, but they won't bring on some of the smaller people that have a big reach because they don't really care about winning. They don't really care about winning. It's so dumb. And you know what? The thing that really got me was when they put out that notice. The RNC put out a notice talking about if you stream the Fox News debate, we're going to give you a copyright strike. Y'all not trying to win. Y'all not trying to win. If I'm able to stream your debate on Fox, you're going to get a lot more viewers and potentially more voters. So if your job is to increase turnout, Rona McDaniel, if your job is to help the Republican Party win, you suck at your job, point blank, period. But I'm getting triggered. I'm about to blow a gasket. So I digress. I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Yeah, they're not really serious. RNC sucks. They totally suck. At this point, I would just say bypass them. They get all this money, all this fundraising money from people that's 70 years old to go do champagne dinners in Washington, D.C. or in Northern Virginia or Maryland somewhere. They don't even leave the Beltway. She probably did the interview from Washington, D.C. right there. Didn't even go to New York for that interview. Anyway, and of course, that's Mitt Romney's niece. And we all know about Mitt Romney. He's bad. He's really terrible. But let's keep on moving here before I get too triggered and blow a gasket. Now here's something else. here's something else I got to talk about. The subway incident. I may not get to all my topics tonight that I have on the list, but I'm going to get to a lot of them before we get to the calls in just a few minutes. Y'all hang tight for the calls. But now, the subway incident, there was a man by the name of John Rote who stepped up to defend a woman who was being attacked on the subway, okay? Let me see if I can find the actual, the video right quick. Now, what happened was, John Rote, hold on. Can I just find this? Okay, this will work. So what happened was, there's a homeless guy in the subway system, and he has a scam he runs, right? As a panhandler. What he'll do is, if you are trying to get to the subway, and you're trying to get through the little paywall, the little pay thing, you got to pay your fare and then go through, hop on the subway, whatever. There's a guy on the other side who pretty much lives in the subway, like Casey Jones, a Ninja Turtle, Master Splinter, okay, some Toxic Ooze, Shredder, or whatever. He lives in the sewer like a rat. He will meet you at the gate, and he'll open the gate from the inside that is not supposed to be open. He'll say, hey, come around this way. You can bypass the fare if you just follow him through the gate that he opens from the inside. If you go through the gate, then it's going to say, hey, can I get $1? And that's what he did. Now, of course, she's wrong for going through the gate without paying. But, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. The penalty shouldn't be what he did or try to do to her. So he asked her for $1 for the service of opening the gate without having to go through the thing to pay. She doesn't want to pay. Then he gets hostile and he tries to steal her purse. When this happens, Mr. Hero, John Rote, is trying to break it up. He pulls his revolver and shoots 2 warning shots. Now, nobody got hit. Nobody got injured. But of course, he gets arrested. The guy who shot the gun. He gets arrested for possessing the weapon and for menacing. And the attempted robber also got arrested. But we got to watch this video, and then we have an update. I played the video already on my video, but I did not play the update, and you got to see both. So let's check it out.
Police say 2 men have been arrested for crimes inside a Midtown subway station. One is charged with attempted robbery, and the other for allegedly shooting at a would-be thief.
All right, as Fox 5's Antoine Lewis reports, commuters are fed up with their fear of becoming crime victims.
When interviewed by detectives, the NYPD says that 43-year-old John Rote stated that he opened fire inside a Midtown subway station Tuesday to stop a mugging. Strap hangers like Rocket Clayman are now making their own statements about this kind of intervention.
I think guns are never the answer.
That voice, never the answer? Yes, they are, man, because check it out. If you are being violently attacked, I'll tell you what, anybody, if you are being violently attacked, you're getting beat on the ground and pound. You're getting stomped into wine mercilessly. You got teeth on the ground. Your head is bust open to the red, yellow, green meat. If you're getting beat down like that, you're going to pray to God that somebody please can shoot this person and get them off you. So sometimes, ma'am, guns are the answer. Sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes.
I think that we need stronger gun control across the board in this country. So I certainly would not be in favor of somebody firing a shot.
I'm really against guns, particularly in the subway.
Authorities say Tuesday night inside the NRW subway station at West 49th and 7th Avenue, a panhandler had opened the emergency gate and threatened to steal the purse of a woman if she didn't give him money. According to police, Rote told officers he was watching and pulled a gun out he was carrying and fired warning shots in an attempt to stop the mugging. 71-year-old Percy Palmer is supportive.
But I don't think it was too much, though, because you don't know what that person has that's attacking that woman.
Base grandma on deck. Base grandma is on deck. She's like, yo, it ain't too much because you never know. This right here is old school common sense. But unfortunately, you guys know common sense ain't too common anymore.
They can kind of steal from her instead of asking her, may I have $1 or something like that.
You should call a police officer. I
think you should be carrying a gun on the subway.
So you're actively getting robbed. You're actively in the process. Like, again, if you're actively getting stomped into the ground, into dust, into wine, into Play-Doh, into Jello, you getting stomped out, what you gonna do? Hey, hold on. Stop whipping me up with your fists and your hands and your rocks and your socks. I make a phone call right quick. You mind? Hello? 9-1-1. I gotta be on hold. All right. Come on, keep beating me up. I gotta be on hold. They're gonna call me back. So you keep on doing what you're doing. Come on, man. Live in reality here. Live in reality.
And it's very scary.
No injuries were reported. After firing the shots, police say Rote took off, eventually being taken into custody Wednesday. Police also arrested the panhandler, whom they say is well known to them.
They arrested the guy that was trying to do the attempted mugging, and the guy is well known to them. Didn't I already say that? Casey Jones, the sewer dweller, is well known to the police. You see, the problem with New York City and a lot of these liberal cities, the police have been defunded and the court system does not have your back. So if the police arrest this guy and bring him to jail, is he going to stay in jail? Is he going to get prosecuted, or is it going to be catch and release? Catch and release at best. All right, what you try to do? You try to steal a purse? All right, release, no bail, see you some other time. He'll go right back to the sewer, right back to his little bedroom up under the toxic ooze, and then emerge from it and do the same exact thing again to somebody else. And then the beat goes on. It's a pattern.
Both the NYPD and the MTA do not condone what some are calling vigilantism. Ramon Brown agrees.
Not justified at all. That's just negligent.
Police say John Rote has no prior criminal history. He was arraigned Thursday afternoon on charges including criminal possession of a weapon and menacing. The judge set bail at $10,000 cash.
So that's the story. Now, here's the follow-up. And
from
hold on.
Midtown, Antoine Lewis.
Here's the follow-up. Now, when I saw the follow-up, I was heated. I'm talking about tea kettle on a hot stove screaming for about 45 minutes, heated. Now, let's look at this. All right, let me pull it up right quick. Hold on. Let me pull it up. Here is an article. Now, watch this. Read the headline for me. I'm going to read it with you guys. Woman threatened by homeless would-be mugger wishes hero vigilante gunman didn't fire weapon. I was terrified. One more time. Woman threatened by homeless would-be mugger wishes the hero, the vigilante, did not fire his weapon. Here's a video right here of him pulling the, so he's going in his bag right here to get the big 1985 buddy cop gun, the big revolver. It's taking quite a while to pull that. So there he is right there. All right, he fires it a couple times. Now, a suggestion to my man. Thank you for helping out, for your service, for pulling the pistol and stopping the mugging. Thank you for that. But first things first, can you conceal carry that on your waist? I know you got a pair of basketball shorts on, but having to dig through your bag and find it, that's a little bit too long. That's a teach bit too long if you need that for protection. If it's me, I'm going to have that right appendix carry or right on my hip, and I'm out. I'm going to go to the range and practice my drawing and firing. And he put it back in his bag and walks away. Oh, you got it right there in his hand. My man, thank you for helping out, but that could have been a little bit smoother. Yeah, that gun, I mean, whose pawpaw gave him that big gun? I mean, good grief. I mean, hey, a revolver, it has benefits. It ain't gonna jam up like the like a magazine could in semi-automatic. Oh, you know what's funny? The funny part about this, they can't say, oh, yeah, semi-automatic weapon. Revolver, that's not semi-automatic. Not technically. It's not a magazine-fed weapon. But anyway, let me show you the actual mugger here. That's your guy right there, Matthew Roach. If his last name is pronounced Roach, I'd be floored. His last name is spelled Roesch. Does that spell roach? That's crazy if it does. But that's your guy right there. He was following his victim and demanding money after letting her through emergency exit. All right. Now, here's a little bit more. Rote, the guy who had the gun, was seen in surveillance footage casually pulling the handgun from his bag and aiming it at the scuffle before shouting, "Get the F away from her." It all happened within seconds. It didn't faze a homeless man. He continued to say, "Give me money, give me money." That's when Roach allegedly shot the second time and continued yelling at Roach to get away from the victim. Roach finally stalled, giving the woman the chance to run away. All right. So that's that. That's what's going on with that. So check it out. The woman is throwing the guy under the bus. Now, even if she was scared, even if he was a tad reckless, why would you say that? Because the whole purpose of him doing that was to try and help you. So this is part of the reason why people mind their business. Okay, you in the subway getting stomped out, getting slapped up by somebody. I don't see nothing. I'm Ray Charles, Stevie Wonder. I don't see a thing. What's going on? I don't know. I'm blind. I can't see a thing. I don't know what's going on. You screaming and hollering, please help. I'm on my phone scrolling Instagram. Matter of fact, I'm gonna record it and put it on my TikTok and get some content. How about that? Now, me, I would want to jump in and help if I could, if it made sense. But why would I if I won't get help from the police? I won't get help from the victim. Why would I crash out for a stranger and then ruin my life only to have the stranger not even support me, not even say thank you, not even just not say anything to the media? If I was in that situation and let's say I was scared by the gunshot, I would keep that to myself because I understand why he did it. And ultimately, I didn't get hurt. So why would I come out and say that that was a bad thing to do? It's crazy. It's totally crazy. Like I said, the guy could have been smoother with what he did, but his heart was in the right place. And this is why people don't help. They mind their business. They mind their business. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That will help me out tremendously. Okay. Oh, and speaking of guns and everything else, did you guys see the Panama situation? The Panama protesters? Now, as I said in my video, I don't condone any kind of violence like that. I don't condone deleting people because they get in your way. But I mean, at a certain point, people just have enough. They've had enough, and they say, you know what? All right, I'm pretty much done. I'm not going to take this anymore. All right, and that's what happened. That is most certainly what happened. Let me see if I can find the still picture. Yeah, my man just, it's like, no more. No more. No, I can't show the actual shooting on YouTube. They're going to flag me to death. Facebook too. Shout out to all the Facebookers out there. If you're still rocking with me, I appreciate y'all. But my man right here, now, whoever took that picture, amazing photography. I don't condone what he did. I don't support what he did at all. Not in the least bit. But I understand why these kind of things happen. Now, let me explain what's going on in case you did not catch that particular story. In Panama, on the Pan American Highway, there was a blockade set up by protesters. They were protesting a mining contract. I'm hearing different things. They said that there was some corruption involved. It could have been some environmental issues. Regardless of what, it did the same thing that these Just Stop Oil people do, and they blocked the road. I'm not saying it was Just Stop Oil that did this, but it did the same kind of tactic, blocking the road. There's a line for miles in Panama on the Pan American Highway. Now, my man right here went up to them and was trying to talk to them like, hey, I need you guys to get out the road, because you see all the time where the blockades happen. People get out their cars and they go to try to remove the blockade. They remove the bricks and the tires and anything blocking the road, trying to get it out the way so they're able to keep on going. Now, at a certain point during him talking, they're not getting the message. So he pulls the gun out from his pocket. No holster, no nothing. Just loose in his pocket like a pair of keys or some change. Just pulls it out. Now, again, I'm not trying to say what he did was right, but check it out. If I'm one of the protesters blocking the road and the guy pulls his gun out, at that point, I know he's not trying to talk anymore. I'm not trying to lose my life over this protest. I'm going to go ahead and back and just let him remove the blockade, and that's it. I'm going to preserve my life. But they didn't do that, so he said, you know what? All right, boom, boom, boom. That's it. That is it, and that is all. And a lot of you guys said this reminded you of the movie Falling Down. I'm going to play a trailer from Falling Down. Okay, this is an older movie from, the early 90s maybe? Michael Douglas is in it. The movie is very similar to this story. Okay, now, let me see if I can find the actual trailer here. Here we go. Now, fair use, Warner Brothers, please. Fair use, fair use, fair use. Don't flat me, bro.
Bill Foster is an ordinary man.
Where you going? Going home.
Now, do you see this right in the beginning, straight from the trailer? My man is trying to get through basically a roadblock. But in this case, there's some construction going on. And in that case, it was some protesters. But it's the same thing. He's being confronted by not being able to go forward, okay?
This way or not? Why not? Metro rail construction, that's why not.
Living in the everyday world.
I don't suppose you have a couple of bucks you can give me? It would really help me out. If you give me your address, I'll mail it back, honest.
A patient man.
Can I help you?
Yes, I'd like a ham and cheese omelet and a little wham fries.
I'm sorry.
We stopped serving breakfast at 11:30.
Who's running?
Do you see the time? It's like 11:33. It's right past the time. It's like, you can't give me some food. I know it's back there. You just ended breakfast. Like, why play games with me? I can't get breakfast. I'm only 3 minutes past the time. I can't go from point A to point B because it's construction. You're asking for money I don't have. You're just getting in my way. I'm not able to move forward.
Out of patience.
I get some change for the phone.
A peaceful man.
No change. I have to buy something.
Who's about to be pushed.
85 cents. 85 cents.
Doesn't give me enough money for the phone call.
Drink. 85 cents. You pay or go.
A little.
You can't get a break. He cannot get a break on today. It's just not going his way.
Too far.
I stay.
You mean you stole your baseball bat, but he paid for the soda?
Just standing up for my rights. As a consumer.
Oh, this guy's discriminating.
Now, I got to pause it a lot because fair use. Y'all know how it is on YouTube. You already know the game.
What kind of vigilante are you? I am just trying to get home to my little girl's birthday.
Give us your briefcase.
If everybody will stay out of my way.
Here, you want my briefcase? Here's my briefcase! Oh, there's the briefcase, huh? Wait a minute, wait!
Then nobody will get hurt.
Warner Brothers presents.
Say, would you get off my golf course? I am!
The story of an everyday guy.
So, as it continues, he's just getting further and further into it. Now, I'm going to go ahead a little bit here. Oh, I got to show the Uzi scene. Matter of fact, I'm going to show the whole thing. There's only like another minute left, and we're going to get to the calls.
Who refused.
Fine!
So they took a swing at him with the golf ball. He has to duck, and then he pulls out this big pump action shotgun.
Whoa!
To take it one more day.
Sir, we got a nutcase with a bag full of guns. He's in Hollywood right now, and he's heading west.
I don't know if you've noticed or not, but there's other people waiting to use the phone here.
Now, if you go up against this...
Did you guys see that in the background? It's like these things are going to trigger you. You see this big butt back here from Sir Mix-a-Lot? Remember that song, I like big butts and it can't not lie? That's what that was right there, in case you didn't see it.
Use the phone here.
Now, if you go up against this guy, be careful.
So he obliterates the phone because there was an issue about that. Let me back up a little bit, because I kind of interrupted it.
Hollywood right now, and he's heading west.
I don't know if you've noticed or not, but there's other people waiting to use the phone here.
Now, if you go up against this guy, be careful.
I think it's out of order.
Somebody in a white shirt and tie gunned down a phone booth 3 blocks from the Whammy Burger.
Michael Douglas.
In America, we have the freedom of speech. Come on, if I want to be a parking lot, I'll buy a ticket. The right to disagree.
Robert Duvall.
I know who this guy is.
in a Joel Schumacher film.
What are you doing to the street? We're fixing it. What the hell does it look like? I don't think anything's wrong with this.
So it's the same thing. You know, you can't go forward. It's a guy laying on the street, blocking it, talking about we're fixing it, but he's not really doing anything, just trying to rack up time. It's the same kind of situation. He's like, you know what? All right, I done had enough. I'm trying to go from point A to point B. You're in the way. I'm having a bad day. How about this?
What the hell does it look like? See, I don't think anything's wrong with the street. I think you're just trying to justify your inflated budgets. Well, I guess so.
I'll give you something to fix.
What are you... Hey, Charlie!
Falling Down.
So that is a trailer for Falling Down. So if you guys have not seen that, y'all go check it out. I'm sure you can find it somewhere for free, but that is the general gist of it right there. And that reminds me a lot of what you just saw in Panama. It's a lot of life imitating art imitating life happening, because a lot of times art is inspired by life, things that can happen. Somebody has had enough. They're at the end of their rope, and they say, you know what, forget about it. I'm not trying to just play by the rules and everything else. I'm not saying it's okay, but this is the human psychology. These things happen, and it is what it is. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. He did go postal, absolutely. He most certainly did. And was that Lorraine Bracco a little bit earlier in that police station or whatever? Was that her? I'm not sure. It might have been. But let's keep on going. We got super chats on deck. Then we're going to get to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. The number is always in the description box. The number is always in the ticker right here and the bottom of the screen. Y'all get rocking and rolling that way. Let me see what's happening on the super chats. Y'all give me a second. Thank you to Apu Bakar All Puff Daddy, who says Cuomo, Adams, Gillum, Mendez investigated by FBI. Does the FBI believe in equal justice, or is it just because FBI is racist going after minorities? Good question. I can't really call it. Thank you to Starboard Media, who says buy crypto or stay being a brokey for life. Okie dokie. Shout out to crypto. Thank you to Tammy F, who says YouTube says not all creators who apply for creator awards will receive them. That is the title of an article I was just reading. I might fall into that category of not all creators. Who knows? We'll see how that whole thing works out. But thank you for your super chat. Thank you to Bina, who says, how's it going? Thank you for that. Shout out to Clay Bisbee 704, who says, Vivek got her out here shook, explaining herself while she was being a political brat and Vivek was making money. It's time to prove yourself. Thank you to Bina, who says, oh, you give out some membership. Thank you for that. And thank you to Monique Price, who says, I hope people continue to aid others, knowing that public support is behind them. Like the bodega incident with Mr. Alba, even if the justice system is corrupt, public support might sway the results. No, very, very good point. Almost forgot about that, because in that incident where Mr. Alba had to go ahead and put his gun on that guy that was attacking him, he got charged, and it was a whole big ordeal to have the charges dropped and to make it be a self-defense case. So hopefully the same thing can happen in a subway case. And you wouldn't have so many vigilantes, quote unquote, if law enforcement were able to do their job effectively. If the guy who was very well known to police, the so-called panhandler, the sewer dweller, Casey Jones, or whoever he is, if that guy was to actually be locked up for doing stuff like this and not allowed to roam the street, then maybe he wouldn't have been there that day to do what he did, trying to rob that lady. And then maybe the guy doesn't pull out this big 25-pound revolver and let it go in the subway station. Just maybe. But thank you for that, you guys. I really, really appreciate you guys. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Let's get into the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. The number is always in the description. Also in the description is a Skype email. You could be right here, bottom left-hand corner of the screen, saying whatever you need to say that's somewhat related to the topic a little bit. And if it doesn't work, please don't blame me. Blame the white man. You know it's not my fault. All right. And shout out to you guys again. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. All right. Yeah. Crypto, I'm not a big fan of crypto personally. But some people, I mean, they with it. That's just not really my thing. All right. Now, Skype might be messing up here. If you guys are trying to call, let me know. If it's not working, then let me know that. Okay, I think we're good now. Let's try. 859 on the line. Who am I speaking to? 859, hello.
Yo, what's up, bud?
Not too much, man. What's going on?
You hear me now?
I hear you well.
Oh, fantastic, man. Yeah, I'm just, on my 15 break, I was listening to your pod, listen to the show, and I just, really appreciate what you're doing, man. I really like your content, and, I really like independent media like you guys, because you guys have your own opinion. Guys don't toe the party line like Fox News and CNN, and that's one thing I like about your show, You have your own authentic opinion about things.
Thank you for that, man. I try to just stay true to myself and always give you guys honest points of view, honest takes all the time.
I appreciate it. And Vivek said something completely interesting that I support. Why is not someone like Joe Rogan or Elon Musk or Carl Tuckerson at the DNC, the RNC debates? The RNC debates. And that's a very good question. I wonder why. I just don't get why the modern day RNC, they don't want to appeal to the youth. I just don't really get it. Like the Democrats, they're trying to do the best they can, getting these like Backstreet Boys on TikTok to promote them, which it just comes off really fake. If you have some authentic voices out there like you, man, it could probably make a total difference out there. That's my opinion. And with Vivek, I understand where he's coming from, but it's also kind of slightly hypocritical because he wants to raise the voting age to 25. And I'm like, wait a minute. Some of our founding fathers were under the age of 25 when they wrote the Constitution. That's the only thing I would complain about him about. And, 2016, Donald Trump was, I view as more of the libertarian candidate compared to the conservative candidate. And Vivek is basically becoming more of the libertarian candidate.
Well, I'm not sure that a candidate who is not left or right can really win an election in this country on a national level. Either you're going to be left or right. It's just like with Rand Paul. When he tried to run for president, he's a libertarian through and through, but he still ran with the Republican Party because your normies are going to vote left or right. They don't really think about too much in the center.
Oh, that's true. I mean, usually I just vote third party, but it was just like 2016. I voted for a libertarian. He talked very like libertarian, viewpoints, and I agreed with him a lot of what he was talking about. Not all the things he was talking about, but a lot of things he was talking about. But he totally changed his tune after 2018, man, and that's what kind of made me disappointed. What really kind of struck the camel's back is when he backstabbed Julian Assange about that whole thing. He got arrested. He could have pardoned him any time, and Vivek even mentions that also. That he should have looked into it and like at least find a plausible case that they have his day in court. But right. Trump didn't do that. That's the one big disappointment that I had with Trump after 2018.
Right on.
Hey, thank you very much for taking my call, man. My 15's almost up, man. I gotta get back to work, man. Much love to you, ABL.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you.
Hey, much praise to your libertarian friend. See you later, bro.
All right, now. Shout out to the caller. And shout out to you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. Couldn't do the show without you. Who am I speaking to? 6.7 on the line.
Hey, how are you, man? How you doing?
It's all good. What's going on, boss?
Not much. I wanted to take a few points. You say that Vivek did a great job in the debate?
Yes.
Okay, so what is the great job he did? What he was so compelling to you that he did with substance?
Made a lot of good points about the Republican Party. He wasn't just talking about warmongering. He was talking about how to reach out to the younger people. He made a lot of sense. about people being hypocritical. He pointed out how corrupt Nikki Haley was. He was very good. He was able to get the point across very well, very succinct, very quickly, and had a lot of substance to me.
Okay, so he attacked the moderator, right? And he complained that I guess Ilya Moss and Joe Rogan should be moderating the debate. But the debate is about asking questions. The debate has nothing to do with the moderator. You could be the moderator, I could be the moderator, and ask him the questions, and that he knows in advance. His job is to respond the question to the best of the ability, and what his plans are. But he didn't do any of that. So what was so great about this guy? Can somebody explain to me? Because this guy is the worst candidate.
Now, what he was talking about as far as a moderator is to get more viewers, you see. So it does matter, because if you're going to have Joe Rogan or Elon Musk, they're going to attract more people. And if the objective is to get more voters to pay attention and to vote, then you'd go about it that way rather than having Kristen Welker. That's not going to bring people to the actual platform to watch.
Well, but that if you're interested in politics, doesn't matter the moderator. Your job is to watch the debate and analyze what they're answering. Well,
not everybody is going to know about politics. You got to attract new people. That's the point. You don't want to just wait, hold on. I'm gonna just say what I got to say. Then let you go. The whole thing is Republican Party, what they do, and it's actually a pretty good question. The Republican Party, what they do, they just rest on their laurels. So they just rest on these old people who have been voting for them for a long time, and they speak to them. They don't try to reach out to new people, and that's the point.
Okay, but politics is not a marketing thing. This is not an entertainment. Yes, it is a marketing thing.
Whoa. Politics is marketing. What do you think commercials are? Why do you need money in an election? Yes, it is marketing. Are you silly?
Well, but let me explain to you. So when you go to the debate, is to answer questions with substance. He has not answered a single question with a substance. Not even one question that he being asked. Not even one.
Okay, so can you give me an example of somebody that
Let me give you an example. He said he's gonna get us independent from China.
Mm-hmm.
How is he gonna do that?
Well, I mean,
hold on.
Excuse me, sir. I'm asking you a question that you can answer. So, was he asked how that can happen during the debate?
Well, this moderator didn't ask him how, but he didn't ever respond. Even when he goes to those friendly guys. He never goes to someone who's gonna challenge him. Like he went to the Young Turks, he make a fool of himself. He stay away from those guys. He goes to the friendly guys that you're so smart. You build a multi-million-dollar company. How is gonna get us independent from China? Number one, if companies in America they're doing business with in China, with Chinese corporations for cheap labor, how are you gonna take them away from that cheap labor to bring them to the U.S.? What you gonna give in return? Because companies they're not gonna leave China. Even Apple is in China. They're not gonna leave. So they could be the factory here, pay more money, a bunch of regulations and taxes and labor costs, insurance, just because he says so. So that's a lie. That's a lie that we all know is not going to do anything. That's a lie.
Okay, so
no substance.
Okay, so the question is, did the moderator ask him how he would accomplish this during the debate? Yes or no?
No, because the question wasn't.
I'm saying, so it's like, how are you going to criticize him for not answering a thing that he was not asked? I don't understand. Doesn't make any sense.
He's being asked in other programs, in other shows. Like I said, you watching in the John Turks debate when they asked him?
No,
he didn't answer.
So
he didn't answer.
So did he respond?
Then he said,
Sir, excuse me. So when he was asked a question, what was his response?
He said, well, the problem that we have too many regulations, we have too many taxes. Okay, sure. So the taxes right now in the United States is 21% for corporations, and in China it's 25%.
Now
I know we have more regulation, but
wait,
can I move on?
Sir, look, sir, no, you can't control that show, sir. Now I'm gonna ask you a question about the taxes you said. So taxes, I mean, what tax are you talking about for corporations? Because there's a lot of taxes they got to pay. So what are you talking about specifically?
I'm talking about the corporate federal tax.
So there's a lot of other taxes that they have to pay.
Yeah, but how is he gonna do that? That's the one I know. How is he gonna accomplish that?
I mean, the thing about it is you would just repeal some regulations. I think Trump was talking about for every new regulation you put on the books, you eliminate 2 to 3 more. I mean, that he was talking about the actual problem. That excuse me, sir. The problem is that there are too many taxes, regulations, and that's forcing companies to go to China and India, etc., to have things manufactured. If you can repeal some of that, then you could bring manufacturing back to the States. I think that might have been his point that he was making. I understood that 100%. But go ahead.
No, that it didn't make any point. Doesn't make any sense. The second thing that I want to talk about, the other thing I want to talk about, this guy attacked the mediator that she's not even debating, right? She's not debating, but you attack the moderator that we gotta hold them accountable. But their job is to report. She's a reporter. Their job is to report.
Is she a reporter or a moderator? Which one?
Well, the lady that was there, I don't know her name. She's from CNN, but she's a reporter. That's what she does. She reports. But she was the moderator in this case. Then he complains about the Russian collusion, where her job is to report whatever comes to her desk. The other thing is Robert Mueller is the one who was investigating Trump. So why attack her? She's like the tiny person to attack. Why you don't attack CNN owners who pressured them to keep talking about the same thing for ratings? So the last one, I'm gonna go. This guy is a con artist. He's afraid of Trump. He demand Nikki Haley 20 years of taxes like he did. Good. Why he doesn't say anything about debating Trump, and why he doesn't demand Trump to release all his taxes? Because he's afraid of him.
Oh, is that right?
This guy is not running for president. This guy is running for a job. If Trump wins, there's a possibility that he could win. He's not even running. I don't think he's even thinking about being vice president, because Trump is not having him in the lookout for vice president. He knows as a Hindu, he's not going to get the attraction with the conservatives, Protestant religious, with those groups. So he's not going to have it in the look for that.
Is he Hindu religiously? Is he religious?
Well, I mean, what about the evangelicals, the white evangelicals? They're not gonna feel comfortable with a Hindu. I don't think so.
Is he Hindu?
So he knows that.
Is he religious?
He's a Hindu. Yeah, he's a religious Hindu. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Well, thank you for your call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right.
All righty, there we go. Oh boy. So very interesting. I think with Trump, you already know all of Trump's information. Trump put out a financial disclosure form that reveals more than anybody has revealed. The taxes were going to show nothing. They found that with Rachel Maddow. She found a 1040 form that had nothing on it. And of course, it won't be anything on it because that's not how people like Trump and their taxes work. People think, okay, if you are not paying one tax, or you pay a certain amount in one tax, or you have write-offs, they don't understand. Regular normies that might have a 1040 and they compare that to a guy like Trump, it's no comparison, really. Like, if you're comparing a guy like me, I'm a normie too. To compare my little TurboTax form to what Trump's got to do with businesses, corporations, and all kind of, come on, man. Like, what are we talking about? Real estate and all this. I mean, let's be serious, man. Come on. You're talking about businesses and their tax rates. They got to pay so many taxes, so many regulations, so much bureaucracy and red tape and nonsense and changing factors all over the world, all over the country, man. Come on. Like, that's to dumb it down to one tax rate is silly, because that's not how this whole thing works at all. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. And the number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Yeah, I think your man that was on the phone just now, I think he's from Panama. I'm surprised he didn't speak on what happened with the shooter. You know, that would have been a good topic to discuss. But let's keep on going. Yeah, I mean, people don't really, a lot of the same people who voted for Trump voted for Barack Obama. Without gaining some of the Obama voters, Trump couldn't have won. It just wouldn't have happened, you know? And that's just the reality of the situation. All right. Thank you to Don. Don says ABL can boot The View and take their spot. I love to do it. I would love to. You know, they don't want to have me on regular TV, though. I like to be kind of independent, doing my own thing. You put me on regular TV, that's not what they are necessarily into. They like the more controllable type of people. That's what they want. 100%. All right. Yeah, but Vivek, I mean, listen, I'm convinced that he's good at what he does. I wasn't really a fan of his. I still kind of have a little bit of suspicion, but he did amazing during that debate, and I can't deny that at all. 909, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Bill, you're talking to Phil from San Francisco.
All right, man. What's going on?
Hey, I'm a city employee that works for I'm a city employee here, and, you know, I just wanted to let you know the mayor does want to clean up the city, but she's always having constant battles with the supervisors.
Okay, so break that down for me. Why is there a conflict, and why can't she go forward and clean the city up?
I feel like there's these supervisors that are always trying to block all the mayor's initiatives with their own little programs, and then behind closed doors are always kind of butting heads and trying to do these little compromises on whose priorities goes first.
Interesting.
So it's weird because it's also like it seems like a lot of normies don't really know who their supervisors are, so sometimes the supervisors may pass legislation that may not be in their best interest. Like, I live in the city of Oakland, so, you know, you'll have my supervisor who would say defund the police, but then the area is kind of, it's just ridden with crime, and, like, you know, she would have a lot of Asian constituents, and then they would be the ones that would be getting, you know, their heads knocked off, or they would be the ones getting their cars broken into. But then when you see them at the local farmer market walking around all nervous, nobody really approaches them. Nobody really talks to them. Nobody really wants to engage. Yet one time I saw one of the supervisors just eating outside at a restaurant. I spoke to him. I kind of we just had a little dialogue, and then he was like kind of shocked that it's like, oh wow, you kind of know what you're talking about. So yeah, it's kind of weird up here.
I see. It definitely sounds that way.
Yeah, so like, here's another example. You've heard about that state legislator, Anthony Weiner, right?
Of course.
He was a politician that was like, who wanted to make prostitution legal, and then like, when that happened, all of a sudden everyone's all surprised. They're just wondering, hey, why are all these prostitutes everywhere? So it's like,
wait, hold on. Wait. So did he make it legal? Did that happen?
Well, they decriminalized prostitution over here.
Oh, so is that statewide or just in San Fran? Like, what's going on with that?
No, I believe it's statewide, because you would see news reports on prostitution, a rise in prostitution in certain areas in California.
Oh, okay. I think I might have missed that detail. Interesting.
Yeah, and then also just wanted to let you know about homeless encampments. The homeless encampment problem is weird because if you notice, homeless encampments don't really spring up overnight. It's just a process. It's a process in which people really don't pay attention to who's really in the neighborhood. Maybe it could start off with like a guy just kind of like talking to himself, right? The next thing you know, another guy comes. And then next you know, it's a tent. And then next thing you know, it's more tense. So then what happens is somebody's supposed to say, hey, yeah, you can't camp here. And if that doesn't do anything, you're supposed to call these hotlines where, a department comes out and tries to offer housing. And if they don't want to do the housing, the process starts where the cops have to get involved and get the people moved out. So usually if they don't take the housing, they just usually end up leaving. The area gets cleaned, and then they eventually go somewhere else. So I know right now with the Apex conference that's going on here right now, it just seems like they're just moved. Like, I don't know where they're going, but they just seem to be kind of spread out all over. Like, they're not in giant clumps anymore.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah, so I mean, I know you like to rag on the mayor and everything, but I just wanted to, just give you a little San Francisco perspective.
Well, thank you for the call, man. I definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting how, there's more people here that are to blame, I suppose. So great call. Shout out to the caller. Who am I speaking to? 757, you're on the line.
Yeah, Mr. Logan, Chesapeake Bob here. How you doing?
Everything's right, man. How about yourself?
Been a little while since I called in.
Yes, sir.
Always enjoy listening to Ivan call. Hey, listen, I've been getting some little news articles and something you might want to look into. I don't know if it's true or not, but I've been seeing that they had 150,000 ballots that they found that went mysteriously missing in Georgia during the last election. Have you heard about that?
I've been hearing things about that, but I've not really been able to confirm what's going on or look too deep into it. But I have heard some whistling about it.
Yeah, the interesting thing that I read, or one of the articles that I read, was all these ballots were mail-in ballots, but they weren't voted, and they were all, or 98% of them, were for Joe Biden, and they all had the same marking. The little circle where you circle who you want to vote for. They all had the exact same marking with the exact same little white speck in the middle of them. And all of a sudden, they came in, they got counted, even though they were not voted, so they didn't come in an envelope. And all of a sudden, they just went missing. And nobody's reporting that. And I don't know if it's true or not, but I was just wondering if you had heard about it, maybe you looked into it and could give me the truth.
Yeah, I have heard about it, but I've not looked into it too deeply. I'm going to look into it and see what's going on. That's definitely a thread to follow.
And thanks for showing that outtake of, what was it, Falling Down?
Yeah.
I swear to God, that was I-64 in Chesapeake.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
you tell them. You know the truth. They've been working on that road since I moved to Chesapeake 25 years ago.
And it's gotten worse. Like over there by the high-rise, that's a mess.
Yeah. But anyhow, I just wanted to call in and ask you heard about those missing ballots.
Right on.
All right, so you have a good show.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
All right, great call. Shout out to you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Shout out to all my Facebook people over there. I will be streaming from now on both. I'll be streaming on the YouTubes, of course, and the Facebook at the same time, simulcast. So if you like Facebook, you want to see me over there, you can check me out. I'm easy to find. ABL, Anthony B. Logan. It's very easy. Shout out to you guys over there. And I think this is like my first time doing the simulcast. So I think I can enable the stars function next time on Facebook. So that's what I'm going to do. And the reason why I'm doing this on Facebook, because a friend of mine told me, like, hey, man, you got to get on Facebook. You got to do it, man. You want to just don't neglect that particular platform. Because one thing I learned about the internets is that people, they don't really go cross-platform. They stay pretty much where they are. Like, sometimes I'll be on my Instagram and I'll talk about my YouTube page and say, hey, go to my YouTube. They'll be like, you got a YouTube for real? People on my Instagram have no idea I have a YouTube. They have no idea. Million subscribers, they have no clue. Facebook, you guys might be the same way. You're on YouTube for real? Like, how did that happen? That's just kind of how things are. So it's all good. And of course, I have the backup for all my videos, which is BitChute. And all my links will be in the description box below on the YouTubes. Y'all check it out. Rumble is no purpose because it's just like BitChute. It's not going to be a lot of viewers, and it's not a monetizable thing, so it's kind of pointless. Like at one point, once Rumble gets really cracking and rocking and rolling, it'd be a legitimate competitor, but right now it's not. So I look at Rumble the same as BitChute, and I already have BitChute. BitChute is like if you don't want to go do with big tech, that's what that's for. If you want to have a place where it's gonna be and you be straight and you don't want to do with YouTube or anything like that, it'll be there for that. And that link is always in the box. You can check me out there. I do have Facebook. ER says, you got Facebook ABL? I'm everywhere. I am literally everywhere. I have actually 2 Facebook pages. I have one, it's like a regular business page, and then I got more of a personal page. The personal page, I post memes and stuff. The business page, I post my videos. I have a Instagram where I post videos, and I have my YouTube, and then I also have Twitter. All right. And what I might end up doing is posting my videos on Twitter, if that makes sense. But Twitter, the only thing about Twitter, they got to tighten up their video function. Their playability function on Twitter is not necessarily the best. So if they can tighten that up, then I post on there as well. And I like Twitter because Elon, the big dog, owns it, and it's free, meaning it's not censored. You know, like, remember at a certain point they were censoring certain things. You couldn't really say too much. You were getting banned and all kind of stuff. That's not happening anymore on the Twitter. So shout out to Elon Musk, the big dog, for making that happen. All right, shout out to him. Yeah, MySpace, I think not. MySpace was a great place, man. MySpace was probably the best social media platform they ever had. But I think what happened to MySpace was Rupert Murdoch purchased it, and he made a bunch of changes, and it killed it. When I was on MySpace back in the day, this was going to be old man shaking that clap. When back in my day, MySpace was amazing. I remember back in the day, because I'm a graphic designer, web designer, I can code also, so I can develop some web a little bit. Back then, I was designing MySpace pages and coding them and getting paid. That was some of my early graphic design work, was making MySpace pages and getting paid. A friend of mine, shout out to her, I don't want to say her name. Good person, but I don't want to put anybody on blast. If they don't want to be mentioned, I'm not going to mention them. She was doing like magazine modeling, photo shoots and stuff like that. And she wanted a page for herself. So I got paid like $400 back in like 2007 to design a MySpace page. I lie to you not. On MySpace. Now, that kind of opportunity wouldn't be available. You're not getting paid to design anybody's. Well, you might be getting paid to do headers and footers and stuff like that, or to design a whole website, which is what I wound up doing later. But yeah, back in them days, when I was just getting started, a youngster, wet behind the ears, 20-something years old, 21, 22. Yeah, absolutely. That was my thing. Betty Boop says my song on MySpace was Umbrella. Hilarious. Shout out to Rihanna, the 2007 Rihanna, the best Rihanna. But the number to call, also the number to call is 434-658-1220. There's also an email if you want to get in through Skype. That'll be in the description box. You could be right here, bottom left-hand corner of the screen. Bob says you're on Spotify. That's what I listen to when I'm working. Absolutely. Shout out to all the podcast listeners who listen to me on audio streaming platforms only. It's a great time to plug it. I don't have any calls right now, but a great time to plug MySpace. A great time to plug the podcast. If you want to hear the podcast you're listening to right now, audio only, you can go to your favorite audio streaming platform. That'd be Spotify, Google Play, Apple iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the description, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. And this will be available at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. So we're on Saturday. This will be available 8 a.m. Sunday morning Eastern Standard Time. 443 online. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. This is your friend Elle from Baltimore. How are you?
Oh, well, about yourself?
Pretty good. When you were talking about EVs, I got extremely triggered So I wanted to give you a quick breakdown of what I learned about EVs over the past couple of weeks.
Alrighty.
So I found out that when they catch fire, their fires burn much hotter and much longer than normal internal combustion engines. It's because lithium batteries are notoriously flammable and reactive. And I believe it's about hundreds to thousands of times hotter, and it's near impossible for fire departments to currently put out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've heard that some of these fires from lithium-ion batteries can be so intense they can burn underwater, like submerged.
Yes.
So it's a lot.
Yeah. And I was listening to, I think it was called Market Watch, and they were saying one fire department had to take a burning car, submerge it underwater, and it was burning for 2 weeks.
Wow, 2 weeks burning? That's crazy. Underwater?
I'm not a chemist or anything, but I'm guessing the chemical reaction or the heat from the car was still going on.
Wow, that's crazy.
It's yeah. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I was just agreeing with you. That's really crazy. And I think one thing about these batteries and these vehicles, the technology isn't really all the way there the way it should be. And I'm not quite sure we're ready for mass production of these vehicles to replace internal combustion engines. We're not quite there yet. I mean, they have their purpose, they have their place, but we got to get better technology before we can say, let's just have all these cars be the same.
Yeah, I agree. When I'm driving behind one, I speed up and go around them. If one is parking next to me, I pull out of my spot and I park somewhere else because it's like they're ticking time bombs to me. I don't trust EVs.
I'm right there with you. Absolutely.
Yeah. And let's see. I'm just looking at my notes. So another thing is I had a test drive in Tesla. Of course, it's not my car. I don't like having physical, but I don't like the fact that I don't have any physical buttons. And I learned that the backseat passenger of the Tesla Model 3 does not have any physical door latches. So going back to the topic of the EV catching on fire, if you're a backseat passenger in a Tesla Model 3, you're dead.
So wait a minute, is it a coupe or a sedan?
It's the sedan.
So a sedan would I don't understand. So is it just two doors on it?
So it's four doors. So you have the door for the driver and a door for the driver passenger side.
Uh-huh.
But the back seat passengers, I think they have a button for the door, but there's no latch.
Oh, okay. So if there's some kind of malfunction and the button isn't working, you might be kind of stuck.
Yeah, and there's this cover that you have to lift up. That's where I guess like the cup holder's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But if you're in an emergency, like if you got T-boned or whatever, nobody's going to know to look for that, especially if they've never been in that type of car.
So basically, I'm reading the chat at the same time. You're talking about the emergency latch, just like under where the cup holder should be. So rather than the latch being on the door, it's like in some kind of random obscure spot you may not think to actually look for when you're in a bad situation, or you might not know it's there. You might just be in the car, not really knowing where it is, not knowing that it exists, and you're stuck. I saw a video like this. There was a guy who thought he was stuck in his Corvette, and because it just cut off, there was no electronics working. So he had to call the fire department, had to break him out. They had to like burst the windows open. But really, there was a latch under the floor mat, but he didn't know. So he's in there. It's 1,000 degrees. He's sweating bullets. But he had no idea he could just get out by the latch because it wasn't on the door where it should be.
Wow. And I'm into, like, I like having physical things. Most of my things I would say 60% of what I have is like physical, 40% is digital. I do like technology, but only if it works properly and it's proven to be effective. If I want to wrap myself around a tree with my car, I want to do it. I don't want my car to do it because of a stupid software glitch.
Right. Absolutely.
And then as far as, and I also heard that there is a bill that has been passed that requires cars to have a kill switch by 2026. I don't know if you heard about that.
I have heard about that, and that's really bad. That's really dangerous because at that point, you don't really have any kind of autonomy over yourself, and that can be misused, and people might end up losing life behind that. So it could get killed right there while you're driving. That's not a good thing at all.
Yeah. And I absolutely agree. I'm going to wrap it up. So my last thought is Joe Biden. I'm going to be honest. I refuse to believe that he's that retarded. I don't like using that word, but he's, I really don't think he's running the country. I think it's really someone or somebody behind him pulling the strings. And whenever this real president comes out, 2024 is going to be a crazy year. So I'm just going to tell everybody, get closer to God, eat right, stay fit, learn how to defend yourself, grow your own food, and stay vigilant. Thanks for taking my call, and have a good night.
Thanks for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Mm-hmm. Bye.
Yeah, I've heard about that kill switch. I might have looked the story up, as I have heard about that. That's really a crazy thing. Yeah, I'm not trying to. I'm not really into that type of thing. Vehicles where you can't really control it all the way, and I think we're kind of already there to a certain extent. We're already there as far as these vehicles being so electronic. 435 here on the line. Who am I speaking to?
You're speaking with Zachary.
All right, man. What's going on?
What's up, man? Hey, so I saw everything that's going down in Panama. That guy that confronted the protesters out there, pretty tragic what happens. When stuff like that keeps happening continuously and the authorities refuse to get involved. I mean, of course, can't condone any sort of violence, but we keep on slipping further and further into a state of disarray with our country and everything that's happening in the world. And we've kind of gone from this state where man used to be able to defend himself against violations from his personal autonomy and from threats to his person. Now it seems like all of these things are kind of slowly degrading more and more. And it's hard to see. It's really not hard to see. I mean, where will this all end up? I mean, people are obviously aware of what's happening on a global scale and on a national scale here in America. People are obviously concerned, seeing places like Oakland, New York City, Chicago, all of these areas that were these huge, thriving areas are being destroyed by policies. People are speaking up about it, but nothing's being done. What's to come of that? What's the end if democracy seems to be failing us?
I mean, it's a good question. I can't really call it.
You can't. You have no insight into, or you have no thoughts about this while you're by yourself, about where all of this is heading if democracy doesn't pull through as what we all envision it as a system where people can come together and vote to affect a positive change. You have no idea. You don't think about this in your personal time?
There's always like doomer scenarios where there's no hope and then the world collapses. There's always that kind of scenario. But I just hope that we can turn things around and get it back going the other direction, because there's no other alternative. Because if things just can't get right, then we're done. And there's no sense of even trying to hope for the future. But I hope that people can turn it around, because it has to. The only other option is we just get straight to World War III, the nukes come out, and then it's a wrap. and there's no point in trying to argue about anything else. And then more bickering because you're all going to be gone. So I don't think that's going to happen. I think that we can find a way to pull through, but it's going to be difficult. It's going to be hard to do it, but it can be done. And I think that a lot of the younger people, they're going to have to be the ones to carry the torch. A lot of the older folks that want to be warmongering, killing everybody, they're starting to die off. It'll be up to the youth. So we got to pour into them so they can continue to carry the torch of freedom and of liberty and of Western society. That should be our primary focus.
Do you think they'll rise to that challenge?
They're going to have to, because there's the other option is we just either we rise to the challenge or we all fall. So there's really no in between, you know. Or right. I think maybe a place like America could become more third world. But see, again, that goes back to the same thing. If we fail, they fail. If we fail, the world fails. China's depending on us. The whole world depends on us. So, like I say, there's only two ways to go, and I don't believe that we're going to fall. It's going to be rough, but I don't think we're going to fall.
Well, I'm hoping that you're correct on that. I think that's a tall order, but hopefully that will pull through. I have one more question for you. Is that okay?
Go for it.
Do you think that George Orwell's technological dystopia could come to pass?
I think we already seeing some of this happen now. So now, will it come to complete fruition? I'm not sure about that, but I think some elements of it already are here. I think some of it is here. So I think
sure. The phone is.
Go ahead.
No, yeah, I've noticed the parallels. The phone seems to be the perfect telescreen that Orwell couldn't have envisioned in his time, but that came to be a device that has GPS, that monitors us, that watches us, all these different things. The last lady that you spoke to, she talks about a car kill switch. When I talk about I mean, these things that are it's such a cliche to say things like Orwellian or dystopian, but it feels like we're slipping into that. So I was just curious what your thoughts were.
Yeah, I mean, I think that a lot of it is here for sure.
Does that worry you?
Not really. I don't really spend too much time worrying because it doesn't. All it does is add stress on me. All I could do is think about ways to just try and spread knowledge and teach people and just try to go toward the future, because anything else, it doesn't help me. It doesn't help anybody.
Right. You being stressed out doesn't help anybody.
Exactly.
You're obviously doing everything that you can.
That's all I can do. All I can do is what I can do. And anything else beyond that, I can't spend my days, just thinking about it, because it doesn't do anything other than stress me out.
Sure. All right. Well, thank you for accepting my phone call.
Thank you for the call.
I really appreciate what you do, man. I listen to you all the time.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
All right. Later.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Great call. And shout out to you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. 734, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, hey there, brother. Hey, Bill, I got one question for you, man. What happened with that video yesterday? I thought it was very funny and enjoyable. I'll hang up and let you answer.
All right. Thank you for the call. Okay, so he's talking about the Kiki Palmer video. Now, what happened with the video is that I uploaded it. Okay, let me back up a little bit. So if you watch that video, it was unwatchable. It was really weird, trippy, kind of hard to even describe what it looked like. But obviously, I made a mistake. What I did was I uploaded the wrong format, because I have two formats, a square one for Instagram and Facebook, and the regular 16:9 aspect ratio for YouTube and BitChute, of course. So I uploaded the square video, and YouTube, being so brilliant as it is, assumed that I was trying to upload a 360 video. So it turned it from a square aspect ratio into some kind of 3D VR ready mess. And that's what happened with the video. I just, by mistake, uploaded the wrong aspect ratio, and YouTube did its own thing to remix it into something that was an unwatchable, complete mess. So shout out to you for the question. I appreciate you, boss. 202, you don't know who I'm speaking to.
Hey, ABL, this is Joe calling from the nation's capital. How are you this evening, sir?
I'm well, man. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm good, thank you. Hey, I just wanted to tell you a funny story just based on what the previous caller had said. Yesterday, I actually went to all 4 TVs in my house because my YouTube app on my TV sometimes zooms in automatically and makes things extremely difficult to, it just screws up. I don't know why. So what actually happened yesterday when I played your Kiki Palmer video, I thought the TV was broken, so I spent a while trying to fix it, and it wouldn't. So then I went upstairs to another TV, tried it again, and this happened 4 times until I realized that it was the video and not my TV. But I just thought you'd get a kick out of that story, so...
Wow.
So thanks for your time, maybe. I'll have a great evening,
Thank you for the call. Appreciate it. That's crazy. My man thought TV, like, man, what's going on with my TV broken? I got to fix my TV. Nah, that was me, man. I made a mistake. So shout out to y'all, man. And thank y'all for caring so much about the video to fix your TV almost to try to get it to rock and be able to watch it. So I appreciate y'all. You guys are great. All right. 424, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, this is Kelly Silverman from Los Angeles, and I just had 2 things that I wanted to say. The first one I wanted to say is thank you for always covering things that happen here in California. We really don't have that many people, podcasters that talk about what's going on, so I appreciate when you bring a story about Newsom or a crazy bill that's done passed, so I wanted to say that I appreciate that. The second thing is, do you think Ramaswamy, because I got to the show late, so you might have already talked about it, but do you think Ramaswamy has a chance?
A chance of becoming the presidential nominee? No.
No?
Nah, I like him. I like what he did during the debate. I'm not quite sure I trust him all the way, but he did do a good job, but I think Trump is still the nominee.
Okay, so we still roll, okay. Because you know what, he wasn't showing up to the debates, and I know they've demonized him so bad, I didn't even really think that Trump was going to run again, so I just kind of thought it was up in the air.
Oh, no, he's definitely running, Trump is, and he is leading everybody by far in the polls, so he's just not going to the debates. Matter of fact, during the debate, he had a Trump rally instead.
I've seen that because I watched it. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, ABL. Keep it up, and we love you here in Los Angeles.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Great call. And let's go to 913. The line I'm speaking to.
Hi, this is Tammy.
All right. What's going
ABL?
on? I hear you. Yes.
Okay. Hey, you were talking about the cost of housing earlier, and I know some people that were that were given land by their parents, by their mom, and they couldn't afford to start building yet, but she already had a barn she already had a barn on it, and that's where he was working farming it, and they have a really nice RV, and they put the RV beside the barn, and then they wanted to hook up electricity, and the city wouldn't give them an address in order to hook the electricity up because they didn't have a permit to build. And so the post office gave them an address, and the city about flipped. And because the post office used to be the only one that was able to give out addresses till the 911 thing came along. And so they gave them an address, and they got their electric hooked up, and they were living in their RV beside their barn and he farms there anyway, and they can't afford to get a permit to start building anything yet, but their RV is parked. Anyway, long story short, the city was trying to call them squatters and telling them that they could not live in their RV on the land, even though they own the land. And I had another friend and anyway, it was a big back and forth, and they're still there, so I don't know where it stands. I need to stop and ask them. But then another friend of mine went up to get do some stuff with his land up at the city clerk, and they told him that he has land that he hunts on, and they said, well, he wanted to get electricity hooked up. Same scenario with him, that he wanted to go get electricity hooked up so he could go hunting on his land, and he stays in a camper there. And they were like, well, we can probably get that electricity, give you an address to get your electric hooked up, but you can't stay in your camper unless you get a camping permit. You can get one twice a year. And he was like, it'll be a cold day in HELL before I get a permit to camp on my own land. And it's just ridiculous. They don't want you to stay on your land unless you have a permit to build so that they can get taxes from you. It's crazy.
That's crazy. That's totally crazy. You own the land, but you can't even stay on the land how you want to because, hey, they gotta get that money. It's all about money.
It is. It's all about money. Even though you own the land, they want to tell you. The people that they call squatters, they had a storage, one of those big storage things that come over on the ships. You know, people use them for storage. And they said, and if you have furniture in there, if you don't have farm equipment, you have furniture, then they're going to make them get rid of that storage unit, and they made him paint it. And he was like, you're not going to come on my land to look in my storage unit. Are you crazy? And they had a drone. They were flying drones over it. It is crazy. The more they tell me, the crazier it gets.
Absolutely.
So anyway, I appreciate your show. I'll let you go. I'll talk to you later. Thank you.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
Can't say I'm surprised. Money rules the nation. So shout out to you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, you know what to do. 773, you don't lie, who am I speaking to?
ABL, it's your retired Chicago police officer friend. Thanks for taking my call. ABL, I wanted to mention the guy shooting the gun in the subway. You better be really, really justified and really careful when you are armed and when you decide to use that weapon, either as a noisemaker, like that guy did, warning shots, or shooting somebody. You're in a lot of trouble. You're going to have a lot to go through after you're in a shooting. I mean, even as a police officer, believe me, being involved in a shooting is a headache. And it's, let alone maybe some of the internal, feelings about maybe shooting somebody. But beside that, just the headache you're going to have legally. You better really think twice before you take that weapon out and start waving it around, or even more importantly, you start putting your finger on the trigger. I liked in that video when they mentioned, and you pointed it out very astutely, ABL, that the perpetrator, not the guy doing the shooting, but the homeless guy, was well known by the police. I think I've told you this before. On a rap sheet, when you run a guy's rap sheet, it goes back as far as his, getting locked up goes. And next to his name in Chicago is the arresting officer's name. And these rookies, they arrested a burglar. They looked at his rap sheet. I arrested the guy 19 years earlier for the same kind of burglary. So this is a career burglar, well known. He and I even had a laugh. Two old copper and old burglar having a laugh that, he's still doing his thing and I'm still doing mine. I mean, but this is what happens to society. Also, ABL, once your community starts to go downhill like, Chicago, New York, San Francisco, you are then more likely to become a victim. When you have the police have their thumb on the criminal, you're going to have an X percentage of a chance of being a victim. But once it's out of control, you have a much bigger number that you're going to be a victim. Just like Walgreens and all these other stores, there was always pilfering going on, but they were able to have their thumb on it a little bit. But once it got completely out of control, hey, this is not a charity. We're going to close up, and that's it. They just go out of business. And now they're talking here in Chicago where the mayor is saying that he wants a city-owned grocery store. So wait a minute, we're going to use city tax money to have a grocery store in an area that's been pilfered by other companies that could not make it there. Those grocery stores could not make it in that area and couldn't make a profit. So we're gonna just do a charity thing where we're gonna have tax money open up a grocery store in these areas. I mean, we need to get our cities and our country back under control. And, these young people or whoever it is, the left, the woke people, we can't let them run the show because they're running it right into the ground. We can't allow society to be dictated by these woke people because it just deteriorates our society beyond our control. And the grown-ups need to take back control of the country and of the cities and whatnot. These policies, they just have to go. They don't work. They break down our society. And that's what some people want. That one government society where, you just, your life comes from being on the government dole and nobody owns anything and nobody does anything on their own. It's ridiculous and we need to take control of it. Anyway, that's my 2 cents, ABL. Thanks for taking my call, and I'll talk to you later.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. Great call. Great way to end the show. Shout out to you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you heard tonight, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. I'll be back live again on Wednesday from 8 p.m. to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern time. This is a podcast also. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platform in the morning on tomorrow. So today, Saturday, it'll be available 8 a.m. Eastern time, Sunday morning. All right. And I'm here every day putting out pre-recorded content for you guys to consume. Please, if you're not subscribed to me on the YouTubes, the Facebooks, the Instagrams, my website, follow me everywhere. And I really, really appreciate you guys. I got one more video for y'all. I was talking about the guy in the Corvette got locked in because he didn't know there was a release button. I found it. Let's go ahead and check it out right quick. Y'all give me a second so I can load it up properly. And let's do it. My man over here is sweating bullets, about to die in the vet because he didn't know there was an emergency latch to open the door. Watch this.
Listen, they got to bust me out of here, bro. I don't know what's going on with my car. The whole thing went dead. I got the fire department out here right now trying to get me out this month. Bro, and I'm claustrophobic. I thought I'm about to die.
Do you see him like
Take the window.
See, right there. But see, he's not going to know that. He's not going to know the button is right there. I mean, the latch is right there by the door. He has no idea. And apparently, the fire department didn't know either. They had no idea because if they knew, they'd have told him, hey, go right there, pop the latch. You see? I mean, I understand, but you know what? The moral of the story is know your car, read the manual, understand what you're doing before you get into your vehicle. Know what you're doing. That's the moral of the story. All righty. So shout out to my main man who almost died in the vet because he had no idea what was going on with his car. All righty. And hey, those Corvettes are beautiful. Too bad he had to bust that window. I wonder how much that's going to cost to get replaced. Hopefully not everything in his pocket, but that'll be a wrap for tonight's show. I appreciate you guys. I think I got all the super chats here. Let me see if I did or did not. Let me read these right quick. And shout out to you guys on the Facebook. Thank you for hanging in there with me. I'll be doing a lot more. I'll be doing the show simulcast on YouTube and Facebook from here on out. So if you're over there on the Facebooks, thank you for supporting the show. Let me read some of these right here. Thank you to Lothair who says, this is the first caller making the comment on the second caller. You know, China's not the only country that's willing to do the work. We need to do the business with a country that makes concentration camps. Oh, he says we need not do business with countries that have concentration camps. Thank you to Lou Maldonado for the salt shaker emojis with the ABL and the 2 thumbs up. And thank you to Block K MIT, who says, thank you for taking my call. Love the show. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you for the call, boss. And that will be a wrap for me. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet. Couldn't do the show without you. But until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.